real. You ain't got no cash, you ain't got no dollar. They stay with that drama. Let's just be real. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real.
Just keep it real with you. You the only nigga here feeling yourself. Walk in and bitches start filming and sitting with men, thotty ass still grinning and shining. So hot, mind on the counter. Fast life sometimes feel like I'm in a comic. I don't give a fuck, bitch, do without candle. Fat Joe pocket back like a recliner. I'm in the representing West Side. People try to tell me I'm the next guy. Back gang got a tatted by my left eye. Chain gang over here, no neckties. But you know I'm all about business from beginning to the end. I'm simping, never slipping, sipping P-A-T-R-O to the end. And if I'm in the building, know it's complaint from the tenants in the real. You can call anyone you want. I'ma kill them all better on them. Said we the only ones that stop.
DJ Maloba.
Let's just be real.
Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Yeah, let's just be honest.
Let's just be real.
Let's just be honest. We all know that deal. So let's just be honest. Let's just be real.
She calls out to the man on the street. DJ Maloba. Can you help me? It's cold and I've nowhere to sleep. Is there somewhere you can tell me? Yeah, he walks on, doesn't look back. He pretends he can't hear her. Starts to whistle as he crosses the street. Seems embarrassed to be there. Oh, think twice, 'cause it's another day. Paradise. Oh, think twice, it's another day. You and me in paradise. Think about it, yeah. She calls out to the man on the street. He can see she's been crying. Yeah. She's got blisters on the soles of her feet. She can't walk, but she's trying. Oh, think twice. Yeah. In paradise. Oh, yeah. Think twice. 'Cause it's another day with you. You and me in paradise. Oh, you and me in paradise. You and me. Just think about it. Yeah, just think about it. Oh, yeah.
I get it down, anxiously, the public can't wait. Had to have it way before its release date. Jigga get irate, press get it f***ed up. Took me 1.8, but I had to get it straight. CD, 12-inch vinyl, get the tape. Jigga giving food for thought, dog, get a plate. I get it down, get it crunk when I get in a state of mind. It was mine, it's mine, nobody get the take. I don't bend, break, fold, scratch, go down my mental Rolodex. See these words I just don't know. I know stress, drama, upset my mama, arrested, put in a line. I'm trying to put this in my armor, but I'm a survivor. Plus I'm liver than most, out on bail, 50,000, still riding with toast. I ain't trying to collide with folk, but I don't want folk taking Jigga for joke. I guess you just woke. Good morning.
No, you can't touch me. Try to charge me, but I'm not guilty. I've got all of my money. Tell me what y'all want from me. I'm not guilty.
I see how you're coming at me now.
DJ
I'm cool.
Maloba.
I'm not the snitch, I don't go to the cops to get rich. I go to the block and pitch. I go with the and click. I go with the pop, I'm sick. I go with you hard, I ain't gon' stop for Look at my eyes, dog, right in my pupils. If I'm your rival, why would I have to do you? Press try to throw dirt on my name, disturbing my game. Seem happy when they heard he was arraigned. Glad he's indicted. Got big money, big lawyers to fight it. Just like Cochran, suckers, you never see me boxed in. Y'all all know it. Jigga's a fighter, plus I'm claustrophobic. Back on the streets before you know it. I'm a word. I heard you I'ma address each and every one of you suckers. The white press, the block lovers. Hip hop forever. B.I.G. is here. It's all the Tupac covers. Above us.
You can't touch me. Try to charge me, but I'm not guilty. I got all of my mommy. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want from me. Not guilty.
Okay. You on my radar. I got you too. Got lane trying to with my case. Same lane that bust in her face. Honey just mad I gotta replace. Plus her birthday passed without me even touching my safe. But I ain't gonna lie, that was sick. But what we need to do is put that mouth on a better. You heard the rhetoric. Jigga hit me over the head with a champagne bottle at the bar. Can he buy me a car? Nah. How do y'all equate your pain? Will it all go away if I bought you a range? I got one or two of those. Nothing gon' change. For nothing else, you gotta live with yourself. Try and line hold, cause I ride on the road in what most would describe as a rose. No, that's that continental team. The only car that fit intercontinental me, not guilty.
No, you can't touch me. And you wanna charge me when I'm not guilty. I got all of my mommy. Tell me what you want from me. Not guilty.
I am the one.
So you can't touch me. You can't touch me. Oh, so jiggle, Kelly, not.
Don't need you seeing your say on her knees. 45 minutes to get out just to keep it down.
The first date, rest of my life. Stand behind the mic like Walter Cronkite. The spotlight, my mom's tight. I don't want to believe and call it a night. This ain't the lightweight cake mix that you're used to. Teflon territory, you just can't shoot through. You gon' shoot who? Not even on your best day. Rolling the Wild West way, giving it up. Leaving the whole world stuck, not giving a late cut. Now we break through in the come on, Hennessy and orange juice, baby, fill up a cup. Grab Mary Jane by the butt and squeeze. Up, let your hair down and join the festivities. Overcrowd the house like lockdown facility. Be quick to give me while I push the rap. Going up and down like a stock exchange. Rearrange the whole game with my rugged. Won't even say your own name when I come around. Stay on top but remain from the underground. To the Z and we all in the family. Rearrange the whole game with my rugged sound. Won't even say your own name when I come around. Stay on top but remain from the underground. To the Z and we all in the family. Ever since Exhibit gets been on some pimp. Approach every woman like a potential mistress. Shine bright, make sure that X stay tight. Cause tonight I might meet my next ex-wife. Mr. Big Chief Reaper. Exhibit uses like a visa. I run it through and money come out. Run in your mouth, I have somebody running your house. Rob your spouse and have a little fun in the couch. You know that it was bound to happen. I can't give you what you lacking whenever you hear them other rapping, rocking. Chains, stadiums, palladiums, crack craniums. Whole skeleton is dipped in titanium. Drop top, 10 on 20s. Using rappers like crash test dummies. Stacking real estate and money. It's funny how things change overnight when you thinking right. I beat the odds like I beat on his first wife. Rearrange the whole game with my rugged sound. Won't even say your own name when I come around. Stay on top but remain from the underground. To the Z and we all in the family. Rearrange the whole game with my rugged sound. Won't even say your own name when I come around.
everybody real deep on the dub. Cop Chris spray the club on the dub. Cop Chris who snub in the club. Quick, told y'all real high. When I come, you can try. If you want, you can die. If you want, we hit yours on the floor. Whole crew be wild. Shit back that thing up like juvenile. My peeps come to spin a diamond. Why get it down like this? Oh, why I around with Chris?
Here it is form, just a bit of a break from the norm. Just a little something to break the monotony of all that hardcore dance that has gotten to be a little bit out of control. It's cool to dance, but what about a groove that soothes and moves romance? Give me a soft, subtle mix, and if it ain't broke, then don't try to fix it. Pass, adjust the bass and let the Alpine blast. Pop in my CD and let me run around and put your car on cruise and lay back, cause it's summertime.
It was so hard to check into the show today because of the mix. Oh my word! DJ Malji always holding it down and giving us amazing music to start your Thursday off. Let me tell you, the days of the week should end at Thursday. So we just get into the party zone from then on and move on with life because it's always a vibe right here at Icon Radio number 1. Team Plug this is Fault. I'm your girl, Myra Maloba, the Afro Punk Queen. We also got in studio.
Yeah, it's the beat maker, not the beat taker. 10 fingers in the air. This is how we're representing on the Vote Thursday. You know how we do it. By the way, like I've been hearing from people that I know that like, hey, Malji's having a following out there. People are feeling the mixes.
Mad. Mad.
What did Fresh Prince say with Malji? If the mix is hot, then don't try to fix it.
Don't try to fix it. Exactly. Love it. We also got in studio, of course. Let the man speak for himself.
Yo, what's up? This is DJ G on the ones and two. We are checked in right away. So keep those requests coming in.
There we go. Right, we've got special guests in studio and they've been here nice and early. They're waiting to check in, so we'll stand by for that. We've also got G-Rongi. G-Rongi will give him a fine for his coming date, but he's coming, he's on the way. But for now, we're going to take a look at the things that have been trending this week. First of all, rest in peace to civil rights activist, artist, and all-round amazing person, Harry Belafonte.
People forget Harry Belafonte was one of those first great black actors also.
Right, he was also a great actor. He starred in many great films during the Silver Ages, the times when it was still black and white. He also put, just black music on the forefront, from blues to soul, and he never stopped working. And he was heavy in Africa. He was really working hard in Africa.
He was when you look at him, like his younger pictures,
Yeah.
when he was younger, he looks like a young Obama.
That is very true. Very true. Very handsome. Hey, Harry Belafonte. Was there really that time when I've been Julie? He was a very handsome man. But of course, the biggest standard was the mark he made in civil rights history.
Yeah, he helped a lot of people come up. Like one of the people that helped from South Africa come up was Myra.
Yeah.
You know, he really helped her a lot in the States when she was over there. You know, helped put up her shows, helped people to know about her. In fact, if it was not for him, she wouldn't have been known that much as she is now.
Right.
You know?
That's very true. And remember, they did a collaboration off of Malaika, which she tried to claim as hers.
Yeah, actually, I saw the documentary. She actually recorded it in Tanzania. That time, in fact, I saw her with Nyerere, the former president.
Right.
You know, and she was just like, you know. But the problem was, there's a guy who actually wrote Malaika.
Yes.
You know, from here in Kenya.
Yes.
And he actually said, you know what? Take the money, stay with the money.
Oh.
But just give me just acknowledge it's me that wrote it. And she refused.
It's ridiculous how it's first of all in Swahili. There's an origin to it, and then
there's a Tanzanian guy also claimed he wrote it.
Do you know even
about 3 or 4 other people claim they wrote it.
Do you know these Zanzibar divers? They usually paint a portrait and then they would go diving and inviting people to their country. So now one of the songs, the backing songs that they had on their reel was Jambo Bwana, but they wrote but it was Karibu Tanzania yetu hakuna matata. So I was like, do the mushrooms know this is going on?
A lot of music has been, people don't realize it, but a lot of music has been stolen from Kenya.
Yes.
A lot. It's just that it's a shame that we don't look into our artists from the past. And really, you know, like I was saying this thing the other day where in America they have this museum for artists.
Right.
So you'll find like Quincy Jones is there, Ray Charles.
Yeah.
You find all these guys from the past who made the industry like great, like Miles Davis.
Yeah.
Find all these guys there, so the young guys know who actually set up the music and how it came to what it is right now.
Right.
But in Kenya, like if you mention some artists, people like, I don't know, who the heck is that?
And that's what Josiah was talking about. There aren't real museums that are dedicated towards the arts in, especially musicians in this country. But you know, like, it's very interesting. There's an American site called Pan-African that's on Instagram. And they just, put out the history of vinyl being pressed in Kenya. And that somebody who was, I think, Norwegian was given the task of doing that. And then everybody from Tanzania, South Africa, Congo would come and try and get their music done from here. And then every time the songs would come out, the new records would come out, they'd be published in the papers. Yeah. But of course, there's a lot of history that is brought back to Kenya in our musical roots. And there was a lot of influence that we had in the musical scene. And all you had to do was just research it. And so I find it crazy for Beatmekah to actually she's an amazing artist, but I find it crazy how she claimed that. And a lot of people who have claimed a lot of things, like you said, from Kenyan artists and Kenyan music.
But there's a lot of guys who are getting pissed off also. Like for example, Wenga Musica. They got upset the way their song has been is it Sina Makosa or whatever, one of their tracks. Remix. There's other guys whose music has been stolen and they try to bring it forward and no one has said anything about Mangalepa.
Yeah.
There's several artists that are out there who their music is still played up till today.
Right.
So I think we as Kenyans, we need to appreciate the people from the past and look into that music and uplift them.
And I think of archiving is very, very important. We have a very rich musical history.
But don't we have what happens in the Malji maybe tell us what happens in the National Archives? What happens? We always say, "Oh, you're in the archives." When we're in town, we pass to say, "You're in the archives." What happens in there? What actually? Do you know what happens in there?
No, I was just saying, so like going there, you just find all these old articles and stuff like that should be, or books. It's a reference. It's a reference place for
because I know like
Kenyan history.
I know like Eliud Kipchoge is trying to put up these libraries and everything. That's one of his projects.
Good.
And it's funny. I remember when we were kids, like Like our dad used to take us when, like me and Emily, he used to take us to Macmillan Library.
Yeah.
It used to be over. Everyone, like there were libraries in Nairobi.
Yeah.
You can actually go in and check out stuff. But now, where are all the libraries? Where
Right.
if you want to get resources, people just say, "Oh, go on Google." But shocking, not everything is on Google.
Right. There are things that are written down and documented that are not in Google. So yes, it's true. And yeah, it's just again back to Harry Belafonte, as in like, if you think, Yani, his music was so, he brought calypso to life. Yeah.
He's like the godfather of calypso.
I'm telling you, when he brought out Dale, he said it. That was all him. Remember that song that used to be playing on KBC every morning, The Hole in the Buckets?
Yeah.
Also Harry Belafonte. So if you've never known who he is, I could just look him up. His music was amazing. He brought so much life, and he was so interesting to watch and to listen to. And of course, you know, he lived to a very good ripe age of 96.
Yeah, he actually, there's people who passed on or way younger before him.
Exactly. So he got his all, see every decade turn and see how everything has progressed in every way. But also his stamp, his influence is heavy in a lot of things, especially here in Africa.
I think the good thing about Harry Belafonte, he actually had that heart to help people out.
Yeah.
You know, he had that heart of wanting to see people progress.
Right.
You know, and so it's just within him.
Right.
And this is something that people need to realize right now. Like it's not just about you. You know, God did not create you just so you can be selfish, and it's about you.
Yeah.
You need to be able to help other people out.
Exactly. He has been described as a tireless activist on The Guardian. So, of course, he continued to work tirelessly even till the day of his death, which is such an amazing feat. And to take on the world of just activism on your shoulders is not the easiest thing to do. It's a thankless job. It's tiring, and he managed to do it so flawlessly through his activism and through his activism in music, in movies, his roots here in Africa. He just managed to do quite a lot. And of course, here at Icon Radio, we of course are mourning with the rest of the world, and of course keeping him in our memories. And of course, we'll be playing a little bit of his music. I've given Malji the task, and schooling him a little bit on music from that era. Of course, you'll be hearing it right here on Icon Radio. Other things that have been happening in the scene, of course, Jimmy was telling me about Cardi B, who was going after blogger. I think she's called Tanisha K. Tanisha lost a defamation suit.
There's a lot of those going on nowadays.
Against Cardi B. There's a lot of it, and a lot of the times people just say, "Take your words back. Just, whatever is false, just take it back." And we finish this story. But she never thought that she would get to this point. So she got, I think she lost the case about 2 years ago. And now I hear Cardi B is like, "I want my money." She's going on 50 cents.
And it's not small money.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not small money.
Yeah.
But again, because defamation also is happening in our country. Oga Obina, comedian Oga Obina. Also, there was a guy called Johnny the hairdresser who came out and started talking about relations with Oga Obina. And yeah.
Is that what Kenya is nowadays?
That's where we are. And it was on a blogger site or one of these podcasts or whatever it was. And I was like, first of all, for somebody who's supposed to be in the community, isn't there like an unsaid law against outing people? Because that's what he would be doing, talking about Oga Obina in such a way.
Maybe he dreamt about it.
He gave it. He kind of like almost looked like convincing. He kind of gave it in detail. I feel like Oga Obina was like, "Listen, you're not gonna do that about me." Through his lawyers, he was like, "You better take your words back, or I'm taking you to court." And so like this guy had to go on video and say, "Yeah, nothing like that happened. In fact, I don't even know Oga Obina."
But there's a lot of that going. I remember there's these guys. I know one of them, but I won't really say who he is.
Right.
But there were some years, like some 3 or 4 years ago, there was this whole wash thing going on.
Right.
In Kenya.
Right.
And then
a lot of guys were implicated. A lot.
Yeah, I know. Like there's one guy I know particularly, like who was accused of being in that thing. Then there's a thing that came up that these 4 guys, like they I don't remember that story where these guys bait up this guy like severely because They said that they used to sleep with the former president.
Oh no.
Yeah. so
Oh
so
no.
man, there's a lot of underhandedness thing that people talk about. I don't know. In this age of social media, people are in such a hurry to make their names.
Right.
You know, they think that it will bring them the money they need and everything. So they're ready to put down someone else and ruin their name.
Exactly. It's crazy. It's crazy to see, but of course everybody wants to be newsworthy. Everybody wants to be trending in one way or another. That's why we figured as a nation.
But you know, they say sometimes, and I agree with this. They say sometimes the loudest person in the room is not the loudest.
That's true.
You know.
That's very true. Now I want to leave off with this thing that I found out the other day, in terms of our news. Wyclef went on Drink Champs. It looks like it was the earlier episodes, but nobody really paid attention to it. And he was talking about how Maria came together.
Yeah.
And I was telling you, like, he sampled from Wu-Tang Clan.
That's RZA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to mess with. I won't say the actual words, but yeah. So when I heard him playing it, and then when he played Maria, I was like, all right. And he says he gives an ode to anybody in hip-hop through his music. So you'll always, when you listen to Wyclef, you'll always hear something that he sampled from one artist or another that you won't really hear. It's like, like the way there's usually the egg whatevers that are planted in movies. Yeah. So it's the same for him with music, and how it all tied together. But also, Clive Davis is one who brought Wyclef and Santana together to do this track.
Yeah, Clive has actually brought a lot of people, because remember, he signed up Whitney Houston.
Right.
You know? So he's actually done a lot in the music industry.
He's also a genius, because Maria is one of the most played songs in history.
It is. It's played. But you know what sorry to change this, but what I was shocked?
Yeah.
Do you know the number one selling R&B record in history was that album from Mary J. Blige, Breakthrough.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like the guy who produced it is called Brian Cox.
Okay.
So apparently it surpassed Michael Jackson.
Really?
It's the number one record.
You know, people really underrate Mary J. You know, but she is another musical genius.
And these are the guys who actually wrote the song. They recorded, then sent it to her. Then she recorded it.
Look at that. Yeah. And you know, like
another time she was all in love.
All right, with that guy Morris, whatever his name was. Yeah, there's a time when I think they argued in studio on live radio.
But I also think, like, coming back to Wyclef, I think he's one of those producers who's a genius, but underrated.
True.
Like, people forget, like, the No remix Destiny's Child when they're all four.
Right.
He's the one who produced it.
Yeah.
You know?
You could even hear it. I think he was even in the video.
Yeah, he was playing the guitar and everything, you know, so.
Genius. Absolute genius. Yeah. But, and then, you know, he's a guy of jazz. He has that musical ear for jazz and all kinds of contemporary music. And that's why he's able to put that richness into all the stuff that he does. I just don't know if he's still producing till now.
I think he still is. I don't think it's something that he'll ever leave.
Right.
You know, but he's also involved in other entrepreneurship things.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
Yeah.
But if somebody wanted to take their craft seriously, I think they would want to work with Wyclef.
Yeah.
And even just
they forget he was behind a lot of the Fugees records. But he was working with other musicians also on those records.
You're right. And speaking of Fugees, Praz has been in the press of late.
What's he saying?
First of all, Praz apparently said he was an FBI informant for the longest time.
He was?
An FBI informant.
Was he?
Apparently, I'm not sure, but that's what he says. But apparently, he's also been indicted on fraud. And that you can find the news of that on our Icon Radio Instagram and Facebook page, as well as Twitter. But yes, ex-Fugees member Praz Michael was yesterday found guilty of conspiracy to defraud the U.S. government, witness tampering, and for acting as an unregistered agent for a foreign government. He could be facing up to 20 years for this. The rapper was involved in a failed conspiracy to help a Malaysian businessman and the Chinese government to access U.S. government officials, including Obama and Trump.
But there's a white guy who was also implicated in the same thing.
Clearly, they were partners, because this comes 2 days after he testified to having been an unofficial FBI informant.
You know, that's by the way, a lot of people don't know, but that's Wyclef's cousin.
Oh, is he?
They're cousins.
Woo.
Yes, they're both they're Haitian.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so they're cousins.
Oh, so good luck to Praz, man.
And he
Good
said,
luck to
and
Praz.
Praz said that Wyclef was the cancer of the Fugees.
Wyclef said it was Lauryn Hill. They clearly had issues.
He blamed him. He blamed him when that whole issue.
Yeah.
That whole issue of because Wyclef had this relationship with Lauren, and he was apparently married.
Right.
He had another woman.
Right.
So that's where the problem came.
They clearly
and
had
he
a lot
told
of
him when he
issues.
joined because he brought him in the group. He said, "If there's one rule I give you, do not date Lauren."
Yeah.
And he did that.
There you go. Now Praz is in trouble, and the jails don't like snitches. They don't like snitches. But now we'll tell you who's snitching. G-Rongi has just stepped into the building.
No, it's not G-Rongi. I see Jaro with the man has come through. Yeah. So there's the Jaro wear. Are you wearing the Jaro?
Listen, guys don't even know he's here in this but yes, we'll get him into the mic.
Have you seen that hat G-Rongi is wearing? Reminds me of those ones for Bassa Rhymes.
That's what I'm telling you. People don't know he's here yet. So we'll talk about it when he comes back. When we come back, before now we get into the break. And then we will be back with Elshado, the producer, and Wole, who is also here in studio already, waiting to come on air. But for now, Malji, take it away.
All night on a drink of rum. Daylight come and we want go home. Stack banana till the morning come. Daylight come and we want go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and we want go home. He said, come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and we want go home. Live 6 and 7 and 8 and bunch. Daylight come and we want go home. We say 6 and 7 and 8 and bunch. Daylight come and we want go home. Day, he said day, oh. Daylight come and we want go home. Day, he said them, he said them, he said them. Daylight come and we want go home. A beautiful bunch, a ripe banana. Daylight come and we want go home. I the deadly black tarantula. Daylight come and we want go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, and tally me banana. Daylight come and we want go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, and tally me banana. Daylight come and we want go home. Day, me say day, oh. Daylight come and we want go home. Day, me say day, me say day, me say day. Daylight come and we want go home. 6 and 7 and 8 and bunch. Daylight come and we want go home. 6 and 7 and 8 and bunch. Daylight come and we want go
Looking at the frame, that's a nice 80. Used to throw it to me like Tom Brady. With that long blonde hair, that's Marsh Brady. I'm all about you lately, Chelsea high handler. Got your legs racing hard on vacation. No exaggeration, said you amazing. Moving too fast, can't pace it.
It's how it is. Yo, repeleti, so the vigil repeleti easy, mole bukile re emeti easy, only spending them. Retanya macho maridi hawisi, chubariga ugali wariti, mataska baridi, repesa midi, ba tuba body bidi, ba maladi sidi, go maraho ba iketeta, ba itsereta kama bota ba easy, haseba leba, talabu bidi, Chista mwana, come by the crib, call Mr. Hisabana, chica by the gig, we doing it like the bread, lemon, just shop around, how I let that punch about a Kenya Rabanta. Clubs are old fashioned, people all showing you love with no passion. Come to the crib, no need to bring cash in. But you can bring action. So beat the marubana, Bayana Bale Bamarama, your whole squad, ya Horatanama, fill the whole bar for Manyora.
Okay. Hello. Mambo. Uko. Aje. Basi vaka ujadunga, sangapi unadunda. Kuna mafisi hapa, mifupa utakuta. Speak body language, sielewi yo lugha. Drinks on the house, sio ni true story. Leta action, leta fashion zingine. VIP na HHP, tuko ndani ya ikulu. Slang, Swana na Zulu. Corridor zimesona, drinks nyamchoma. Niko na my current, ana cheki my ex. Mina check the next, atakuwa my latest.
Yes, double HP, Jabba Man. Got the Empire, my man Rabbit, Wangeshi. Yes, double HP, Jabba Man. Got the Empire. Where you at? What?
In not just African hip hop, just in hip hop in general. And now, today years old hearing he did a song with King Kaka and Wangeshi. What's the name of that song? Oh man, Double HP. Double HP. Double HP was a South African hip hop artist. Hip hop Pantsula. Yes. Alifanya na King Kaka na Wangeshi. But he, I think, during COVID, like he literally just passed due to depression, I think.
But
he died.
But even here, I think today here in Kenya we have like strange. Remember, there's a time everyone had a thing that used to end with Ngoma. Remember there was Ulopa Ngoma.
Yes.
There was Ogopa. They always end with Pa.
Yes.
Pa.
Atipa.
So.
Ngelia mpa.
So. G-Rongi, wewe umeingia. You know, by the way, you know, I've been thinking, what we need to get for G-Rongi, You know, G-Rongi, what you need to get. Do you remember Flavor Flav had this big clock on his neck, We need to get G-Rongi a clock so he can get on time. Remember there's a song called Nini, by Nameless. You inspire me. You're inspiring me, even me, I'll be coming late now. Yeah, does a battery actually work on this one?
Ninjaroya.
It's working, but it's not on time.
It's not on time.
I love your CK. See Chris Kirubi, Calvin Klein.
You know the best thing about me, they call me Rolex. You know why?
Sorry.
I'm timeless.
Now, like, this is the vault. I'm your girl, Myra, Maloba, the African Queen in the studio we've got.
Yes, the Beatmekah, not the beat taker. 10 fingers in the air. That's how we represent. 10 toes also. If you don't have toes, well, I'll pray for you.
Okay. Yeah. Also, the wheels of steel.
Yes, this is DJ G on the ones and twos.
Aha. Ahead, Mr. Timeless. Ish.
We've been there throughout the time. Vitu kadhaa. Big up dunia mzima, mambo inaendelea poa. Big up mzee Ruto, finally alinunua fertilizer from Russia kwa sababu we don't need to US to tell us what to do na vitu kama hizo. Big up mzee Ruto kwa kuangusha dola na tuanze kubuy oil na Kenya shillings. That's a big event. Ita reciprocate after some time. Big up kila mtu, big up Alpha ananiangalia sasa, nimwambia mbocho wangu make sure Alpha ananiona juu mtu wangu niko kwa nyumba analetanga shida. Actually nimeleta juu mtu wangu. It's so painful kutoka kwa nyumba alafu mtu wako anakupigia nduru nyingine. Yaani umetoka alafu unasikia
you go back every
like,
time.
Guy,
Umbo Indomie maze. Nini?
Mtu wangu akulangi Indomie. Kijana wangu. Akulangi Indomie.
We also got a guest in studio. Please introduce yourself to the people.
Yo, what it do, what it does, Mr. Elshado, 32 Empire representing.
Yeah. 32 Empire. Alright, so Empire made just studios.
Umehata. The most important new 32.
So tell me 32.
Yeah.
What is
you don't know what 32 is?
It's an even number, not an odd number. Okay, three is odd, but 2 is even.
Please, just let's ask him.
I'm giving you mathematics. You know, before he says, people forget, I was watching this thing by Wu-Tang, yeah? And actually, they say the Method Man originally was kind of like a geek. He was like a scientific kind of guy. Like, people don't, you look at Method Man, you don't think about that now.
Oh, very smart guy.
Very, 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 very smart.
Now, 32. What is it?
Okay, basically, 32, I come from Dandora. So 32 Empire basically is broken down into a recording studio, a video studio. So 32 itself, ni manganya zile zinaendanga tao. That's one meaning, yeah? The other one in Kiswahili, it's a 30. That is tunasemanga rafiki wa 30. 30 and then 2. So we do heartfelt art. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, for those
kama nisemeaje.
Hebu ongea professor.
Okay, niko 40 lakini niko na mpenzi wa 30.
32.
Okay.
They say if you're too open to say your age on air, probably you're lying.
Nikwambia kitu. Me actually enjoy my age. Tell you why? Because a lot of youth men huku ni my dead man. Ako hata hizi stand na mimi kuja ni ngumi kwa sababu ako dead na drugs na No, I was trying to say, you know, I tried to say Shakahola, you know, because you know in Kilifi things are happening, in Shakahola.
So Nimeshika. I'm not trying to segue away from that, but you mentioned Shakahola either way.
No, nimesema you know kuna hora huku K. I mean K for Kenya.
I get it. I'm trying to get away
kuna hora
from it.
K Kishaka.
I'm trying to get away from it.
G-Rongi has a lot of words like this. I can't get the exact lyric, but there's a lyric that G-Rongi says. I think he says, "The eye met with the retina."
I think
he has too many rhymes. That's the thing. He has
about?
too many rhymes.
I think, but I did something with retina.
There we go. Now, you guys already talk about Shakahola. You already talk about the stabbings that have been happening in Kitengela. Kitengela is what's going on with what's happening in the water?
In Kenya, there's something, Myra. I think we need to go back kwa catalog yetu. Nilisema kitu moja. Kenya, we need to start accounting psychopaths. Tujue ni wangapi. Madam. Okay, I didn't want to see that video.
I also didn't want to see it.
I didn't want
when
anything
you have kids, especially you can't.
Yeah, for me I didn't want to. But ama jamaa walishoot hiyo video ni wa strong. Yaani uko na time ya kushoot hiyo video lakini una time ya kuvunja mlango. So that's time wasting. So, yani we all psychopaths. You know mwizi akichomo tuko hapo tunaenda kuangalia hiyo gory stuff, but we don't know. But we should. Yo madam, okay, for me I can't judge that madam. You know, sometimes ukiona mama madam to hiyo design mpaka amemkula physically, there is something we can't say cannibalism. There's something
alright.
Yeah, do you know there's one doctor who said like do you believe these people who see your kids be like, wow, chubby kid, I feel like eating him? That moment is not lying. Is truth. Because anasema yeah, unashika. So for me, one thing I don't want to judge this woman because he had no right to do that. But also we need to know why it happened. Maybe mzee mzima anafaa come through atuambie nini kunafanyika. Ama
madam. Postpartum is real. A lot of people discount it. They say, no, that's an excuse to chapa your kids. No. Postpartum depression is real. It's not only in women, it's also in men. But it's never really talked about.
Do you know ikikama hizo hormone levels za kushuka when you are pregnant and when umezaa hizo hormones they come down differently in every woman, yeah. You know, that's why for example, for example amemada akiwa alive. Kuna wale walimada before akiwa kwa tumbo, na as in kuna situation, kuna stages kwa hizi vitu. That's why sometimes si na agree ati my body belongs to me, I decide what to do ama vitu kama hizo, cause you did not get huo mtoto kama Mary ati Mungu alikufumua ukaget huo mtoto. You had to meet a human, so unajua huo mtoto wako si Jesus ati Mungu alitokelezea akakupe gold.
But don't you realize,
but it's two people who are involved in that thing, so we need to talk about it. So but also pia at the same time, hiyo si kesi ya kwanza ile kujua tu madama amekuja kaambia na mzee wake nimekuacha nini, alafu madama na okay, mimi if you kama umeniacha, why we having these kids, alafu na deep platform wote. Unajua, so for me I want to know the back story, as in
what is the root issue?
What's the root issue?
Because to be honest, this is not a unique case. This has been going on a lot in Kenya.
Yeah.
So we have to ask ourselves, why is it happening now? It never used to happen before.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it did. It just wasn't highlighted. It wasn't put out in...
There's some things that in Kenya that never used to happen as much as they're happening right now.
This thing of kusolve kinyumbani, you solve it in... That's why things were quiet. Yeah, but now with social media, nobody has time for that.
Like now you hear all these cases of guys, even men, killing their kids, killing every member in their family, you know.
That's what I'm telling you. Depression is not only in women.
Even this case people talking about Mackenzie. Let me tell you, it's a classic cult case. It's been going on since the 70s.
Yeah.
You know, where people would even have their kids take cyanide.
Sorry, Jimmy. Before we go there, when we are in this gory kind of talk, ule alinibamba. Okay, hizo event zote is this week.
And trigger warning to whoever is watching.
Yeah, trigger warning. The guy alinibamba ni huko Kitengela kwa hiyo KFC. Dem amemadwa pale. The scene is bloody ama vitu kama hizo, si ndio? Mjango wake ule amemada pia amepiganishwa na mraia, amedoze pia hapo like few centimeters away, si ndio? Wachana nao. Kuna mninja anaorder food like nililipa, si nipatie kuku zangu.
Manzi.
Okay.
Sasa like if you've ever smelled blood.
Actually kitu moja, we are overjudging that guy. Ndio nikakwambiaje, Kenyans are so used to vitu zingine ni vile before kama if you can maintain, you shoot somebody stabbing his kids and eating his organs, you can be comfortable kusema nipige KFC yangu iko nini, unaniambia nini, unashika. So kuna kitu fulani watu wamekuwa kifanywa wanawaja kwa kinotice, watu wamezoea kuona deaths, murder, nini, bad things. So for them it's just, we can say this because for example Kenya, we come from a cultural place, ndio, but you know in US utashutiwa na bado people wapite hapo, utamagiwa na bado people wapite hapo. Nilikuwa na juzi kwa ma TikTok manini, dem anarepiwa, jamaa na dance, msee anashoot video na dem pale anarepiwa. I'm like how?
But you know what humans also say? They have this statement. They say there's nothing new under the sun.
True that. Hiyo ni unyama tuko nayo pia. So as much as pia women love to blame men, pia they need to know how even them ushetani can come through bomb.
But that's what I'm telling you.
Hata hell haiwezi toshia hell.
It's not unique to any one person. I'm telling you, even postpartum depression is there in men. That's why you'll find fathers offing the entire family because it's become too much.
I know a lot of them.
Yeah, the sleepless nights, we both go through it together unless you decide to go to the bar or whatever. Having to think about how is this child going to eat is another problem. Yeah, these are things that our parents never prepared us for. Yeah.
How come these things didn't happen back in the days?
Because COVID was not there.
No.
Things started happening when COVID was there.
Like they did. It's only that they weren't put out in front.
I think what's happening right now, okay,
COVID.
back in the days.
COVID highlighted. Now, COVID brought it now to the forefront.
But let's be honest. Back in the days, why so many people know about one thing happening is because, let's be honest, there was social media. There was no social media back in the days. But right now, it used to come out, but it used to come out after a long time. Now, so it's like it takes seconds for people to know.
That's what I'm telling you. During COVID, he's mentioned something that's very right. During COVID, issues of GBV, SGBV were now openly being discussed because they were happening in people's homes. Guys got so tired of staying around each other in the isolation that it was on the rise. That is the difference.
Like even during social media, I mean, during COVID, you heard that thing of people were getting so lonely, that you go to a field and people are shaggy. Like a whole field. Like,
where?
You want to go there? No.
I want to know which side of town.
By the other easy.
We need to know mentality now which side of town.
Other easy mamta hapa karibu na hapa. People were doing that, by the way.
Me I know one thing. Uptown, they had a lot of time and nothing to do and a lot of drinking, yeah. So what they did what they did. Wanaenda wanafungulisha mabaa live wanabai mabaa vitu, si ndio? Hood there, people are being depressed. Yeah. They were depressing, they were doing what? That's why, for example, after COVID, what has started happening? Immediately what started happening? The crime rate went up. Sadism went up. No. And I won't lie to you. I can say this, come out to swear. COVID was fake. It's an agenda programming people. But one thing they did not expect, one thing they never expected ni hivi. Repercussions. Zita affect mpaka mathematics zao. For example, watoi sahi, the ones who never went to school, ni madanda kuliko wale walikuwa wanaendelea chuo. Unajua, thank God mtoi wangu kwa private school, at least tunaweza recover hiyo shughuli, si ndio? But sasa ukiangalia hata ukiangalia matest kwa vile zilitoka za KCP za form 4, there was something ulikuwa na notice like
it changed a lot.
And there's a new thing that's always coming. Like now you hear there's an outbreak of cholera. You know, there's an outbreak also of bacterial infection. Every week, the hospital is saying they're treating 30 to 40 people a day
Super
for bacterial infection.
My God. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Also, do you know a lot of people who are vaccinated? More people have died.
That's true.
COVID, the people who are never vaccinated, they're not dying. People who are vaccinated, they are dying at a rate ingine kubwa sana. Sportsmen, as in, alafu ni young people, alafu wanakuambia nini? Stroke. Yani ugonjwa zifai kuguza. So mimi niko tu hivi. Hii agenda ya watu World Health Organization, America, Dr. Fauci, nini. That's why I love Trump. Trump aliambia watu hii kitu haiko, but they had to bring him out. Why? Because he was saying the truth. And that's why I'm saying, for examtle, the same time ndio tuliletwa Black Lives Matters. Do you know black people kill more black people than a white police? But because of politics, we become racist, saying, white people.
First of all, gun violence, leave alone even black on black.
Me, I want guns even in Kenya.
Even in Kenya have become a problem. Gun violence has become a problem worldwide.
For who?
For everyone.
Can I tell you something? Now to the conspiracy theory.
There's a producer who brandishes his weapon everywhere.
Okay, let's go to this conspiracy theory. Let's go to this conspiracy theory. Do you know who's the enemy of the world right now? Liberals. Because liberals are working with the government, and we are not supposed to work with the government. We are supposed to be independent, and then we talk. But guess what? Even in America, liberals are in bed with the government.
Like I told you, there's a lot that has changed. There's a lot that.
So when wife of Biden came to Kenya, he gave Kenya 41 billion or something like that. For what reason? Kenya will legalize gay marriage. Seriously?
That now is another conversation.
Kenya tuko na problem ya chakula ya vitu, lakini they are saying the only problem with the world is these liberals and this LGBTQ. They just passed a law. If your son or your daughter says he is a woman or is a man, the teacher is not supposed to tell you. Will take him immediately direct to surgery, and he will not know that you are the parent. Liberals are taking this thing so as
there's a lot that is wrong with
No. Liberals, even Black Lives Matter, the leader of Black Lives Matter is a lesbian, and he says we are not supposed to adhere to family trees. And he calls herself black. Then he goes to tell people like white people are killing black people because one cop shot a porn star. Alikuwa anaitwa nani porn star huyo alifanya watu wananil wanapiga magoti.
That one now, like I told you, we'll give you your podcast.
No, that's a porn star. And he has a criminal record. Alafu sisi tunaenda kutetea muizi.
Like I told you, we'll
seriously, alafu naanza kusema Black Lives Matter, alafu mpaka Kaepernick anaenda kupiga magoti. Seriously.
Like I told you, G, we'll give you your podcast.
Okay, let me put like this. Let me put like this to stop this thing. Vote Lives Matter.
All right, so let's get into the music because we have our guests in today. We're going straight into who you are and the work that you're doing. But for now, Mal G, take it away.
DJ Mal G.
To 32 records, and of course, we also apart from well, so a lot to unpack. Let's unpack it quickly. Let's go.
I do it. Pursuing my dreams. Mtai growing, mshale ya Cupid ilimea kutu, kuwin. days of my life. I say uzito kubeba na mikono miwili. Vita siya the strongest but the willing. I do it. Nilim ask out. Shindwa ako surprise nikimwambia close the door behind you. Fashion and technology Nairobi nafanya tukae likewise. Difference ni bank account inasema otherwise. Niko high up, nipate Milky Way na straw. Nafunga macho niki stroll. Holiday kwa mnazi na mbaazi. Wanasimama doing nothing. Security kididimia. I guess that's why inaitwa police post. Unemployment ina increase. Same na holders wa degree. Uki break our hearts, macho ndio ina bleed. Machozi kuchanganyana na maji ya siwe jigiteremka. Dhambi ya hasla ni usingizi, naringa na jasho yangu. Lepo ya bidii yangu inapimwa na uzito ya mfuko yangu. Hukuona the long trips, don't judge me by my Mercedes. Niko in partnership na KWS, badala game packs, walete tourist. Kwa wallet yangu, wakitaka kuona elephant. Men elegant, ha, extravagant. See to do it, I do it. Pursuing my dreams, mtai grew it. Mshale ya Cupid ilimea kuwin. Days of my life. Uzito kubeba na mikono miwili. Vita siya the strongest but the willing. I do it. Nightmare Nairobian, ni jina kuandikwa kwa OB. Ama simu ya manzi yako na morning sickness hajatumia OB. Mnajua namba 8 baby, but kupigwa 9 ni famous kwa mtaa zote. Mbona niogope? San kwa get mbwa kali. Na najua ndani ni chiwawa pudul mbwa gali. Hata uwe shake, watakubeba kama Shrek. Fake, fake, fake.
So many kings, yule king najua ni kaka. Mr. CEO najua mali utanipata. Mina cross borders, nyi bado loko. Mistari kibana gawa kapoko.
Do me a favor please, get out of here.
Ata VS na katakasi yes. Baroni Express, back left VX. Nacheze maneno, Mr. BS.
Do me a favor please, get out of here. I'm saying
Buda, atunatoa video lini ati kolabo na nani deal gani. Album ime delay, watch your bongo na buy views every day.
Do me a favor please, get out of here. Do me a favor please.
DJ Malji.
Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying. Get out of here, man.
Okay.
Shit, I'm saying. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying. Get out of here, man.
Mr.
Kwa TV, fem wanakimbilia wana kill. So me I'm afraid, what the mia? Faith yangu imani kwa Mungu naninginia unashamed. Mungu naishi kupigania, ay. Suit and tie, haimanishi unaweza manage. Gather courage, walk surface, haijalishi wewe ni nani. Unadai when I'm ill, hosi enda. Na God niko stable than hasi enda. World niko angry, niko off the hook. Ka fish nimeponea, iko shock ka shooks. Yeah, I'm on one boy, the holy book. Jesus is for everybody, yeah, that's the truth. Nina verse na hook, si just self kugu. Gul niko spirit led, niki chant kwa booth. A 3G enabled, so si die my group. P one man army, ukikam na truth.
Usichanye nisipotee, kwa hifani niwe nawe. Nisichochwe na dhambi, tasema tu wazi naomba. Nisipotee, niwe nawe. Nisichochochwe na fani, tasema tu wazi naomba.
Wana kill kwa TV, fem wanakimbilia wana kill. So me I'm afraid, watazimia. Faith yangu imani kwa Mungu naninginia unashamed. Mungu naishi kupigania, ay. Haimanishi unaweza manage, gather courage, walk surface, haijalishi wewe ni nani. Unadai when I'm ill, hosi enda. Na God niko stable than hasi enda. World niko angry, niko off the hook. Ka fish nimeponea, iko shock ka shooks. Yeah, I'm on one boy, the holy book. Jesus is for everybody, yeah, that's the truth. Nina verse na hook, si just self kugu. Gul niko spirit led, niki chant kwa booth. A 3G enabled, so si die my group. P one man army ukikam na truth.
Usichanye nisipotee kwa hifani niwe nawe, nisichochwe na dhambi, tasema tu wazi, naomba nisipotee niwe nawe, nisichoche na
Yeah, guess who's back? It's not learning, baby. Yeah, white to be, hey, up to be, that was it. The big bosses, kwa show busy, tumekuja ku make profits mtu wangu, no losses. I'm so sick boy, inabidi hata kandi drugs dokia ni prescribe yema overdoses. Sikia Valentine muhando na mpelekea maroses, burning bush kwa brain, design ya Moses. Na stay fly mtani wananita Kibera toilet, ni Octopi aka Mr. Project. Daily niko focused on point kama rocket, everywhere but still hamwezi ni locate. One night stand baby uwezi ni forget, even if you're jira uwezi jiprotect. Smile guy itabidi menua Colgate, swag guy itabidi meapply ya mortgage, kustaka kami itabidi meitisha mortgage. Most trend me ndo new school, what any stay so fly, na stay so high, na stay so bright. Even the sky wanna battle me, na stay so fly, na stay so high, na stay so bright. Even the stars wanna battle me, na stay so fly, na stay so high, na stay so bright. Even the sky wanna battle me, na stay so fly, na stay so high, na stay so bright. What swag wanna battle me? So new kick Nicky push, so fly na madush, so high to your push. Mini Osama when the bush, I'm the bomb. Blow them eardrums, P.I. here I come, YGB's here fam. Man, Nicky sota siko pesh, mi mjanda kawa wesh, mtami uchill na waresh cause it's number 9 baby. Lendo jinga tugeuze kichungi, wire mesh, mic ni wireless, flow ni tireless, bling bling colorless, swag ni permanent cause I'm the boss, nalipa government. Yo, homeboy you hear that, you know what I meant. So, toto si toto kahaga ja come through. Hey, toto si toto kabado ja come through. Hey, MC kabada ja
No, I don't care about them. Matter of fact, this motherfuckers, I don't like them. They talking like they know it all, but know nothing. Tell them come shit at me, fuck it, I ain't ducking. I do my own damn thing, how I please, how I want it. Take your filthy love back, fuck it, I don't want it. And doing it for you when I can do it all for me. Counting all my money is where I need to be. You took a whole lot, but you ain't saying nothing. Bunch your whole crap like you really saying something. Really should I care what these fuckers gotta say? And trying to make you love me, I'm just trying to be me. Tell them I'ma be as bad as I wanna be. I'ma be as bad as I wanna be. Tell them I'ma be as bad as I wanna be. Yeah, I'ma be as bad as I wanna be. Tell them I'ma be as bad as I wanna be. I'ma be as bad as I wanna be. Tell them I'ma be as bad as I wanna be. Yeah, I'ma be as bad as I wanna be. No, fuck what they think. My daddy told me walk your way, do your own thing. But then this fake's trying to closen up and soften me, telling me I need to knock for all the off for me. Hey, you can hate me or love me, I ain't gonna lose my breath. It's really not for you, I'm trying to show up to impress. And doing it for you when I can do it all for me. Counting all my money is where I need to be. Pow, 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 I turned your lights off. And if you're still around, you can go and jerk off. And trying to make you happy, keep a smile for myself. I'ma keep on pushing, they ain't asking for your help. Tell them I'ma be as bad as I wanna be. I'ma be as bad as I wanna be. Tell them I'ma be as bad as I wanna be. Yeah, I'ma be as bad as I wanna be. Tell them I'ma be as bad as I wanna be. I'ma be as bad as I wanna be. Tell them I'ma be as bad as I wanna be.
Hey, pia mi ukwa kwa crisis. Wanna umesiba is. Pia mi ukwa kwa crisis. Pia mi najua wanna umesiba. Vipi wazee?
Pia mi ukwa kwa crisis. Pia mi najua urembo sio cute. Pia mi ukwa kwa crisis. Pia mi najua urembo sio cute.
Matak, wanateremka kalongi yangu ni kisar. Futi sita chini shots. Jail imefail, jaribu hugs. Waonekani mtaani, ka Santa Claus. Kinyozi, machozi ya kitunguu, roho ya Robocop. Sara alikuwa anataka mtoto na ako menopause. Maboy, wanatafuta love kwa soap. Washi, wana define love na soap. Opera, ISID kama Michael Jordan. Kununua kichana. Hey bana, Uganda Koinange Street. Cheki length ya skirt ya wachi. Hiyo ndo naitwanga ministry. Mimi G reason hivi.
Who cry for Christ? Be me, that's my man. Be me, who cry for Christ? Be me, that's you. I wanna receive voices.
Be me, who cry for Christ? Be me, that's you. Urembo sio.
What up? This is Tracy Morgan. Now I'm chilling with Mr. Royalty himself, King Kaka. Holla at me, baby. You can't f*** with royalty, you know what I'm saying? Like the great said he said, show something he said, show something he done.
King Kaka. Okay. Wanataka ni pay attention, ha? Sina yo budget na kukill their careers, yes, niko na yo casket. Bado, taongea kwa track nitalipwa. Na mafans wananifollow, I say. Sini dini. Vile na go hard kwa track, basi expect drop. Mix ya kila kitu, basi expect pointy. Just know, marapa mali wako, hawa sosi. Atele before na sosi, nasikia ni sosi. Mi mngana, mi ni mzi, mnazi basi kuna. Account iko na appetite vako ya Yokozuna. Average rappers on board, sipandi kama guna. Hautapigwa mchuma, we unafaa kuchunwa. Cause you jumpy kama logo ya Puma. Na wasikukompia you to me, au niletea business over door to door kama Jehovah Witness. Wamekubook this weekend, mimi kwa book ya Guinness.
We kings in this shit, King Kaka. Holla at me, boy, your brother. You know what it is. All around the world. Global. We kings, baby. Royalty. Don't get it twisted. And please don't get it discombobulated. Nairobi, stand up. Brooklyn, stand up. It's me and you, King Kaka. We doing it. World to world. All global. You know what it is. The blood.
No need to wait. Mi ushindanga mapema. Mafala tu bado ndio utegea mapena. Na sifichi mali niko kama ni Trace Morgan. Nani mwingine kwani yako kwa track na Tracy Morgan. And it's not a joke. Watajuaje bro? Wow bado loko lutanipate bro. Mi mwalimu Kaka vile nawakilisha kwa darasa. Wow ni one hit wonder. Warudi darasa. Mwambia ongeze sticks hata ka budget iko down. Saina chopsticks utadhani Chinatown. Anaikubackstab ako nyuma. Usigezu. Don't be surprised bana. Siata walichukia Jesus. Akukwatoa ya chapo. Hata kanywele ilikuwa ndengu. Nikanyari na rhymes bana. Oya panda mbegu na katia dona. Matime natumia mganga wa Singida. Naingiza mabrown kwa box vako ya Sidika.
Okay, let me tell you something, kid. King Kaka, the male ruler of an independent state, especially one who inherits the most important piece on the chessboard. They say it's
Track 53, na G-Rongi.
That's the most
Yeah. Better recognize who's on this like it's a no-brainer. Juala wacha nice ni mamlaina. Kinena kiwa kwa sina mle yenu ndo kunyesha. All I do ni kuandika kushina na pad kama game. Ana nadai kudrop tu mabanga. Heavy bass utadhani mpelekwa ndani na mambanga. Semko na mana yangu na phone iko dry. Bagi hibyo time na drip cut up. Haijafungagwa yeah. Your Beatmekah, Icon Records. Ekia mpimo, na track 53 na battles. Na mwachika microphone cheka chikidi cheka marapa skizo kwa TikTok hapo mwezi nipata hapo mwezi ni get Nicki mess mistari wana regret kunijua let jumatika ni msik na sikama amateur pain game ya who damage what a beast written off check what I spit I yo prove to the miracle see fit kwa his skin Kalizo was born to be more no throwing shade missy canopy kanda beats na syllables flow ni mid-do mziki kwangu ngano G agana na 53 si why kusleep ni Peter Pig ni pick and mystery adi ulimi side beats nikiwekwa 6 feet deep ni feel mtika songs away lip also me na flow kila siku mi sina off itabidi mechi aliju mi divide kila siku mimi najirefine na wezi niweza tani kitry igeni shy kari ndo maana na dish out your sauce so ya king ni come sauce get it yani sauce soya sauce stops your gopi kauna die beef sikosi kama 6 courses ya sick thoughts neza safu kwa hit Discord na nazi dish out promptly swiftly na mini msiko zikosi watu ill but stusi unajua vile tribe boom
Umekutana na sio na ngombe Ilandi kama kao kwa flani track 53 G-Rongi Kostime kama kao
Easy guns zili pop smoke, acha ni pop smoke. Easy guns zili stop joke. RIP pop smoke, ndo wakop walianza kusmoke, ndo ni sound up. Nili slime cock, niliacha kudrink, nikaanza kuthink. Oya si wa loyal, ndo tunawadedicate Jesse Royal, modern day Judas. Oya I'm royal, ikikam ni moyo awana. Oya chujo tembeze kimchakato, ikipungua ni majini tu msoto.
You wanna be a cowboy? Hey, everybody, get your guns to me, everyone wants to be a cowboy. Grab your gun, boys. Ole. Plug 2 like 2 chords. Wyclef. Pace 1. Yo, this is how the West was won. Armado. A true desperado. Rappers wanna be actors, so they play the Jesse James color car and get their bones fractured. You ain't got no guns, you off to the precinct. Inside, tough guys are feminine like Sheena Easton. But Christ, son, still died. Thrown off the building like the Fall Guy. Caved in the grave cause you didn't know how to behave. Playing cowboy, now you sleep with the slaves. Who's the desperado? Selling bottles in the alley. On some villain, wearing a mask like Jim Carrey. Okay. With his gat cock, stinking up the crack spot. Pace 1 dies with both eyes on the jackpot. Found out I'm from beggars, eat cat chowder. Sundance Kid is the everyday perk snatcher. If you see him coming, you better start running like a terrorist. I guarantee you he'll be bombing. Dynamite, dynamite. Clef, I got the cash. Yo, let's skip Everyone wants to be a cowboy. Grab your gun, boys.
Everybody got so excited here when that song came on.
You ever sing on a high voice?
DJ Malji.
What's he like that? What's he like that? Who you trying to say?
Yeah, but if you listen to the instrument in the background, it sounds like those chuti instruments. You know the sitar or whatever.
The bangra kind of music. But that was Wyclef in his element, man. That was Wyclef in his element.
But actually, it's Wyclef. There's another crew I forgot from Detroit. There's Lauryn Hill. There's Rodiga.
Rodiga.
They're a couple. And let me explain something. I forget the name of the crew. I forget the name of the crew that's on Cowboys.
He's a snitch.
But there's some guys on Cowboys, and they're a crew from Detroit. I'm a snitch. Now, those guys were so influential. They're the ones that Eminem said that inspired him.
Right.
When he was rapping, you know.
He gives a lot of attributes
because
to guys
those
from
guys
Detroit.
they were actually battle MCs, and they wouldn't just do your normal battle. They rap about the atmosphere, they rap about atoms in the sky.
Right.
They were crazy on that level.
That's why the 8 Mile, the movie was based on that scene, the Detroit scene, the cypher scene, the hip hop scene. That it was like literally like a battle scene. Like guys would come out there like hemming, sweaty because of how heavy it was.
But it's a shame that
Eminem did. He remixed Proof's life. Proof was the proof. Proof. Yeah. No problem, bro. Ata Eric Salmon, atakwambia Redman ni mnoma, but we all know Redman alitoa sell kwa Eric Salmon. That's all I'm saying.
But
we also
Eric Salmon was
sick,
mad.
But now the only
Eric Salmon.
The only difference ni Redman is rowdy, so you can't notice. Ni kama Sean Paul na nani? Alichukua style nani?
Anaitwaje?
Supercat.
Yeah, Supercat.
But you see, if your work, even if you take a style from somewhere.
Bro. If you take my style and uplift it,
you can't catch.
How many rappers have stolen from James Brown?
But if you still work, you still work.
No, you didn't get me. You didn't get me what I said. Bro. When you steal my style, bro, I know. When you steal my style, improve it. That's the standard. Make it better. Come on, the voice. If you are coming to sing somebody's song, improve it. Usikuja tu kuimba juu unajua kuimba. No, do some magic.
About
do
Sean
some
Paul,
crazy.
like Sean Paul, for example, if you listen to Supercat, his voice is lower, right?
Yeah.
Sean Paul's higher. And a lot of guys got to know about Supercat because of Sean Paul.
Yeah.
That's the honest truth around the world. They're like, oh, who's this guy? And he always attributed and said where he took it from. He always said, I took it from. Like, I took it from. In fact, he said,
we always
he calls him like his godfather.
Okay. Redman. Who produces Redman? Ni Eric Samo.
Eric Samo.
The same guy amechukua style yake from.
Actually, they were called the Deaf Squad. Yeah, the Deaf Squad.
So I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm saying like if you take my style, improve it. Usifanye nikukute nikuseme man unachafua nyumba yangu.
G-Rongi, has someone taking your style? Has someone never taken your style?
Yeah, a lot of people have been doing that. A lot of people. Can I tell you something?
Mimi G.
I remember one time someone said that G-Rongi sounds like Nyash. G-Rongi's like no, Nyash sounds like me.
Yeah. It's true. Nani alianza wa kwanza?
Do you know what? We have a guest in studio, okay?
G-Rongi, but let me ask you.
I'm still up for it. Yeah.
I have to ask G-Rongi a comment. I have to ask him a question. G-Rongi, tell me this the truth because we discussed it.
Yeah.
You said when we were all in Dandora that day, Mula was there. Yeah. You said he wasn't rapping like that originally.
That's a real thing. I can talk about that. Even you can say about that because the songs we recorded, he never sounded like that. But the day we came here was like...
Was different?
Ni kama mimi na rap. Yes, he sound Tanzanian, but you know, mimi
you
rap.
wanted him to sound Tanzanian?
Iko hivi, even Johnny, sorry to say this, style ya Johnny, flow ya Johnny, he took it from somewhere, where I know where he took it from.
Everything is borrowed.
Is it Lost Boys?
It's not even Lost Boys. K-Shaka was Lost Boys and Fugees combined. Umeshika na BCC na kina nani, si ndio? But Johnny Viget, style yake ilitan. Nakumbuka, wacha niseme, full of mixtapes.
Right.
So tukaanza kusikiza, alafu some tracks we were supposed to record, Fiatua nilitoa hapo, yani some things we got from there, si ndio? CD Johnny alichukua fulani, alikuwa nisikiza 24/7. Hiyo jini inanipoteanga. Alichukua style hiyo jamaa 100%.
Blueprints.
A lot of people huku nje anaweza kuambia huyu ana sound nani, ana sound.
Yeah, but you see even the culture itself is borrowed. Yeah? We had to start hip hop or rap from somewhere. There had to be an epicenter of somewhere.
No.
There's nothing new.
Speaking
There's nothing new, but also depends where you're getting. Ujanishika poa. Point yangu tulikuwa nasema hivi tukiwa na Jimmy. For example, if I'm gonna copy your style of recording, ya ku make beats, niibe na ni make much better. Hata ukiwa hapo utasema, "Hey, I'm a proud father." Si mtoi amekaa ameiba kila kitu yako anaenda kuiuza huko kwa orodha nini anayaribu. No, you need to improve. There's nothing. Every idea is borrowed from somewhere. Hata mimi nikiandika mistari ni juu maybe nimesikia mtu akiongea ama nimesikiza radio ama nimesoma gazeti. Everything comes from somewhere. Hata ukiproduce sound utasikia kitu from alafu inspire something, si ndio?
Almost all the hip hop records they came from jazz.
Everything. But you make them better kwa sababu for example
I hear what you're saying.
When I listen to alitangona ni wa Utengu producer Utengu.
Riza.
Bro, I'm a Dre. You are like, man, hii ni kitu ya supposed to be Picasso level lakini over Picasso.
And Dre's album The Chronic, he took it from Bill Clinton, the Funkadelics.
Yeah.
That whole album, The Chronic, that's all from that band.
I get what you're saying. But now we're speaking about artistry.
Mzima,
so we are moving on to our...
Yo.
Sasa ndio nataka kusikia.
Wewe ndio ngoma na Guzman.
Yeah, Guzman hata kuna ngoma nimepatiana moja hapo sample aicheza.
Guzman ule.
MG.
MG
tumewaka.
Mimi kwa sababu unasema Guzu.
Ndio Guzu.
Ani huyo. Okay, thank you. Sikuwa najua anaitwa Guzman. Okay, sawa. So Elshado.
Yeah.
You're a producer, hip hop artist. Just introduce yourself to the people. Dandorian. Number 32.
Mr. Dandora ameongea.
So tell us. Describe yourself. For people who don't know who you are. There's people who know you. I'm going to do shout outs in a few. But for those who don't know who you are, just tell us about who you are, your record label, all of that. Lay it down for us.
Alright. So my name James Elshado. Basically, I'm a music producer. I'm also a musician. Yeah, I started off as a musician.
Okay.
But basically, from the entrepreneurship level, yani mimi nilikuwa nataka at least niweze kuwa nikijiproduce. Yeah. So I started up a studio in Dandora for the love and for the streets because Dandora iko saturated sana na wasanii. So basically we had to set up the 32 Empire. We started a home studio, yeah. So from there I merged into now like production, basically more about production than the music itself. I've been growing. I've managed to produce some of the guys and learning and doing all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I set up 32 Empire, which basically is broken down into a music studio, a photography and a video studio, and now entrepreneurship. Yeah. Mostly, let's say the youth of Dandora, we normally do like some tutorials about production and all that. And I'm hoping I'm going to learn some few things from these guys, in Pandya production, So I believe.
So wewe mwenyewe ndo umejifunza?
No, but I love it. You know, learning it never stops.
Yeah, no, but
so basically,
how did you start? Did you go to school?
No.
Dandora, there is no.
Good question.
You know the funny thing, basically me, I have studied IT,
Okay.
So IT is like the guy who saves me the last dance when things go awry in the production, So I started learning online and from observing. Kulikuwa na studio back in the days, Andaki Studios. And then actually I got influenced, Andaki, okay. Akina Cheese and Brain and all that. I got influenced back in the days, Me nilikuwa actually fan wa nini sana, But things shifted up after I came into realization of my environment, the guys that I'm hanging out with.
So you're no longer a fan of Nonini?
No, I still got love for the guy, I still got love. But you see, music sasa ya mtaa, I related to it more and in a deep sense, So it got me digging deeper. Meet watu kama sahi akina Keishaka hivi. I've learned a lot from those guys. I've been able to work na wasanii. By the way, alienda ngapi? Anaitwaje? Huyu atizedu huyu. Walikuwa wanafanya naye.
Ambrose ama
ni brother Hustler.
Alimficha, huyu alimficha, alikuwa kuja kwa show lakini hawakutokea.
Some really cool guys,
Go for pork.
And me, I said sorry. I said I was like, these guys are going to be at a studio. And sure enough, hapo kwa socials walikuwa kwa studio. Anyway, ni sawa tu.
So basically nimekuwa nikigrow.
They were not on the studio, they were wearing Jaro wear. I saw the pictures.
Sorry, we digress. Yes. There's beef there.
So basically, I've been growing into the music in terms of the hip hop culture.
Right.
I've been actually hata akina Femi One wakianza back in the days, been working with them, but hiyo time labda sikuwa nimeiva kabisa, but kwa tu size yake, unajua. So music kwangu nilichukulia like it's like the language of the spirit, So mi kwangu I loved it because ili transform my understanding and being able to add play, being able, unajua actually most of the guys that I deal with back in the hood, wengine wanakuanga na low self esteem, but those guys ukimpatia microphone aanze, it builds up from that kind of person to a really, na hiyo ndio furaha yangu, and that's why I intended to set up the studio center in Dandora, So basically mi furaha yangu nikicheki vijana anakuja kuvent, it's not an easy life back in the streets, So when I'm able, by God's will, when I'm able to provide a platform where the youth can come and vent their frustration, they can come and reflect their understanding, it really amps me up and I feel fiti sana.
I love that.
So up to now, what we have managed to do, we managed to set up our own site. You know, we have been having a problem of marketing our music. Kwa sababu ni tricky sana, Like let's say back in the days when you used to work on an album, you could go to a school or a show with some CDs, perform and go home with something. But this is not the case these days, And it's really funny. You can get like 1 million views, or plays or streams on, let's say, a platform like Spotify, But that could be worth like 10K, 20K. You see? That's what now we are starting to pick up, and at least pia wasanii waweze kuinuka hivyo. So I'm all about the streets, I'm all about working with the youths and doing great music.
I love that especially because you just said this is where they come to release their frustrations,
Yeah.
to find inspiration. So, for how long have you been doing this?
So the art itself, yeah.
Yes.
Back in the days, akina Keshaka wakirap, nilikuwa high school. So
that was like 98.
Bro, easy mathematics kidogo tu confuse watu. Ukiwa high school ulikuwa mwaka gani?
Kwa high school tukiwatch the beat, akina Keshaka wakinini.
Mwaka gani?
Around 2 or something. Mnataka niseme age yangu. Pia mimi
onyesha mwaka.
Keshaka walicame
as in sio kuanza kurap, yeah? Like when I came to realize actually tulikuwa na watch kwa the beat. Si ati ni kuanza. Yeah.
The only thing they
you
ever
see,
put actually, let me tell you.
You see, this is why we were
mathematics here.
I know, but
I'm not talking about Keshaka starting.
Yes.
You're getting it. Yeah. Hapo ndio ilini capture kwa sababu watu walikuwa wananiambiaje, yani umetoka mtaa yao si wenye wana rap tunawacheki kwa TV. You get it now?
We need to have our own hip hop summit at this
The beat. The beat, when was the beat?
The beat, the only thing ya Keshaka was the beat.
Was it like 2000, 2004 hapo?
Early 2000s, yeah.
Yeah, but the only thing ya Keshaka was beat. The only music ya Keshaka was the beat.
Was Fanya Mambo
only.
No. Okay, yeah,
okay,
Keshaka
but for us wase uko flani mau.
Wenyeji pia ilikuwa inachezwa.
That's not Keshaka. That's ndo nakuuliza.
Hata Keshaka ilikuwa inachezwa.
Fanya Mambo peke yake.
They were in like
but
DC they were in that
Keshaka biashara yao iliisha 90s.
But I think
Dandora Love they were featuring.
Yeah, Dandora Love was there.
I think
Dandora Love was there.
Dandora Love was wenyeji.
But we're talking about
MCK and Zaka.
Then they featured
wakiangalia maboys wakihappen because that's the time Keshaka died.
You see, my point is listening and getting the nini. Unani get? As in umeuliza the question. Okay, iko sawa.
Let me say something. Sorry. You know mimi one thing I'm tired to hear at hard was album hiyo wafanya mambo wanaingojea for more than 10 years and they never landed. Ken Ring just came back right now like 5 years ago. Keshaka never did anything.
Okay, G on a point of view it's okay. G knows Keshaka much better than me.
Imagine I don't know them.
Skia.
They surprise me every day.
Skia. But my issue is this, yeah. You know, you gotta give credit to where it's due, yeah.
To who? Keshaka.
But I'll tell you this before we cut. I'll tell you this. Let me talk about production since I'm a producer, been in the game a long time.
Okay.
There are 3 types of producers, and I saw this the other day. There are 3 types of producers. There's what's known as an orchestrator, right? An orchestrator is someone like Dre or like Quincy Jones.
Okay.
They don't just make music, they get it all the way to the finish line.
Yeah, true.
They go through the label, they bring other people to the table. Then, you know, after the orchestrator, there's a thing called a hybrid producer. A hybrid basically is in the middle. Like he can kind of get it to where it needs to get to as he produces, as he mixes, as he does the mastering. Then the last guy is what we call the beat maker. A lot of beat makers just make beats. That's all they do.
Yeah.
You know, they don't record, they don't mix, they don't do anything. You know, at all. You know, I'm called a beat maker. When I began, I started making beats. But as time went on, I said, no, there's other platforms, there's other things that we can do apart from making beats and making beats in one genre. You know, at the end of the day. So you got to ask yourself. So the question is, where are you if you're in that list? Where would you say you are?
Right.
Now, basically, you see, that's a question. That's a good question. But you see, in the US, mostly in the US, you have the leverage to choose what you want. Yeah. But basically, me, I have to do everything for myself. Yeah. I'm the beat maker. I'm the guy who records. I'm the guy who have to look for a publisher or a distributor. You see, I'm the guy who has to correct the MCs and all that. Yeah.
I think it's like that because I lived in the UK for a long time, and a lot of the youths that I saw coming up is the same thing. People should not lie to themselves. The way it is abroad is the same way in Africa.
Right.
You know, we just don't realize it. I was discussing this the other day with a friend of mine who's a musician who's lived in America for a long time, and he was breaking down. It's like it's the same thing. You know, over there, but we have this thing like if you go to America and UK, they have this thing of if you're from Africa, they have this thing. Let's go back to Africa. They're not Africans, but they have this dream that they come to Africa. It's like a land of gold. Think that's gonna be flowing. What we have the same thing if we go abroad. They have a certain system that's in place, but there's a lot of artists abroad who are struggling. And so the way the music industry began, because originally it began with labels, you know, began with the Sonys, Columbia, it began with those companies. But then the thing is, as time went on, the artists felt they're getting played out. They're not making their dues the way they're supposed to. So now this thing of do-it-yourself system came into place, and that's how people are operating now.
Now I gotta ask, how many artists do you have? Do you sign on artists? Because nowadays a lot of people, like a lot of producers I meet, they're like, mimi sitaki kufanya kazi na wasanii, fanya kazi yao na waende. So do you have you signed on artists? How many are you working with? And what's the scope of the music? Do you concentrate on hip hop, or do you go? Are you an all rounder?
So basically, me, how I work, yeah, I don't normally do permanent signing, yeah, because it actually costs a lot to sign up a person, like to really like invest in an artist, yeah.
Right.
It really costs a lot to invest in an artist, distribute his music and all that. So normally we do like an agreement, and we have like a split sheet and all that, but it's something like temporary. Let's work on this project and all that, yeah.
That's how lots of producers are working nowadays.
Yeah.
Project by project basis.
Yeah.
Me, I don't work like that. I actually sign.
I learn much from you that I came. So about my production, I don't just produce hip hop music. I produce all genres.
Okay.
Personally, me as an artist, I changed from just the normal hip hop. I do gospel hip hop. Yeah. That's why umesikia nikiuliza curiously about the hip hop show, that if you run hip hop show, gospel hip hop shows, yeah.
Okay.
But from the culture that I learned from these guys like akina G-Rongi and all that, unajua I have to attribute to these guys kwa sababu that's where it all started. And actually kama wangekuwa in the picture, there are some things will be missing.
Right.
Yeah. And I take pride, even though sometimes ni wana missteps will happen, but we are here to do some greater things, to learn some good things, and not do as the predecessors did, yeah. So that's what I'm working on at the moment.
Like I usually say, if my dad hunted an antelope, I will hunt a cow, so my son can hunt an elephant. I don't have to put him down like, why are you getting bigger than me? No, because that's the idea. We need to grow much bigger, and that's why even for me, nikikwambia story ya Keishaka, bro, because I want you to get out of that mentality. I want you to become bigger than uko fulani maumau, because that's the direction we need to take this stuff. But if we are in a cocoon of kalamashaka, we'll I have no master above me. Except my talent and my family and my friends. Those are the most important thing in my life. Not people who have done stuff. Me, I want to do greater things than them. If the Kalamashaka hunted rats, I will hunt an elephant.
But you
I
see,
want to go much bigger. It's not disrespect.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not disrespect. It's just the way it is.
There's no need to hunt rats.
No, for them they hunted rats. Because there's nothing they put in the table.
Yeah, so he's talking the
it's
facts,
the
yeah.
truth.
But personally, what I understand, yeah, he's talking the truth, but I have to learn from the history. I have to acknowledge the history that was there, the steps that were taken. I have to acknowledge and see the mistakes. So even though they went haywire or probably followed some different paths and all that made them not be where probably they would want to be.
Yeah.
But I'm learning from that and making sure. Unaona kama sahi, like a fact remains, kama G-Rongi, since we ni mmoja wa back in the days, yeah? If these guys established a studio, they wouldn't, and a fair studio, yeah? A fair studio where an artist will be able to record and find a platform that is more easily accessible. Unaona? Wacha nimalize G. It would be awesome, yeah? Actually tungekuwa na need nyingine ya kufungua studio, una get? Sahi hata music yangu ningekuwa nimeshai move to a higher level, unaona? So but the fact that like ukisikiza most of the guys that I'm dealing with, and some of the guys kama mtu kama Farrakhan back in the days when tumegrow now, studios zenye akina G, or let's say that moment hazikuwa accessible sana. Ni uongo ama ni ukweli?
Ndio niko nataka kujibu why.
Hazikuwa accessible.
Nikwambia kwa nini? Do you know why the studios were not accessible when you put them in Dandora? Because of Kalamashaka. We go back again. They used the studio to eat drugs. Kwanzia kina Jonia, kina Roba, kina Kama. And one thing they never did, they never let young people come through. Even us, we never recorded there. It was very hard for me ni record ndani ya ndaki. Why? Because them they were choosing like they never saw me like uko fulani Maumau. They were looking like usi mnoma, ndio mnoma. And one thing people forget, kuna konga na growth with time. And that's why niko na hasira. Listen now. That's why niko na hasira. Where are they? Where am I?
Only in Dandora, the access to studios, whether it was Ogopa,
I know.
Was the only one that
can I say something? Okay, but can I say something? One thing you don't understand. They were not unfair. They were commercial studio which you needed to pay. Our studio was a community studio. But in order to record there, you had to buy Johnny drugs, you had to buy Kama Pombe, you had to buy cheese and brain drugs so you can record. I won't lie to you. Album ya Juliani ya kwanza ilirekodiwa na Maunga. Album ya wenyeji ilirekodiwa na Maunga. Album ya kina Wakamba wawili rekodiwa na Maunga. Mi album yangu kusikia na viatu ulisikia cause I didn't want to buy any unga for anybody. So I moved, I went to Buruburu, recorded it over there. It was never recorded in Andaki, but it's known the beat near Andaki.
That's why
to your credit, drugs was prevalent.
Yeah.
It has been documented. It has been talked about. It is not sensationalization.
So the point now, my point comes in, yeah.
Yes.
My point comes in. That's why 32 Empire is there, still there in the streets, yeah. Back in the hood, yeah.
Okay.
To enable those guys to access the studio, even
like
though, yeah, at least in an agreement, some of the guys don't have the cash. It's a commercial studio, but it's still a community studio.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
what is the community aspect to your studio?
We do 32 Empire link up, a show and an event where basically we have like our community, watu wanakuja tuseme like immunization kama ya watoto hivi vitu kama polio, and tuna invite the hospitals and dispensaries and all that, watu wanaangaliwa health and all that. We provide that platform for the guys, and tukishaona hii talent iko sawa, we sit down with the guy. I've actually done some pro bono nyingi sana. So that's one of the aspect ya community. Another aspect is like another aspect ni kuangalia msanii, the background, and see how we can help the artist.
Okay.
So there is so much about the community aspect. Kwa sababu ingekuwa totally commercial, hata tungekuwa
even and I'd like to, because I think when this whole saga came out last year, the beef was reignited. It brought forth the issue of exactly what he said, drug use in the community.
Yeah.
Now, your community work, are you also first of all, identifying it as a problem in order to be able to drive guys out and into the studio as well, to be able to stay away from these vices, to be able to come back? Because also drug use is an aspect of also just not having work, being idle and not having a place to go.
Yeah. So the steps, actually we acknowledge that as 32 Empire, we acknowledge about the issue of drug abuse and crime, yeah. So we actually like last year we did an event 32 link up where the theme was stop drug abuse, yeah. We did like elevate people and teach people about drugs and all that, but on a personal view, what basically happens, because most of the artists there utapata ni lazima kukuwe kuna mtu labda anatumia tu, unaget, but I believe in the power of word, yeah. I believe that a soul follows where it finds more light or more power, yeah.
Right.
So like if you speak to somebody, and if somebody, like let's say if I normalize coming to this place or hanging out with you, there are probably 2 or 3 things you'll tell me about production that might trigger me transforming to something, yeah.
Right.
So if these guys come in the studio and we talk about it, yeah, unamuonesha hii is your life, unajua, and then we have like policies kwa studio. Back in the days we didn't, kabla ni transform kwa ministry actually, gospel hip hop.
Actually,
back in
hip hop artist.
Yeah.
Gospel artist.
Yeah.
Na see jokes. I know I've known him as in ameokoka for all his life. Okay, not all his life. Tumejua tangu kidogo, but kuna point alikama kaniambia G, me I'm saved. This is my music. Now guess what? He records everybody.
Yeah.
He records everybody.
Yeah.
He unaweza kuja uimbe valga zako atakurecord. He has no problem. But for him, yeye maintain yeye.
Gospel hip hop
maintain hivyo.
Na si ati gospel artist, in reality ameokoka, ni mtu anaishi life ya Christianity. He is 100%.
He walks the talk.
He walks the talk.
Okay.
Yeah, so
it's not a hype.
Yeah, so basically as much as I'm a gospel artist, I'm able to record and to mingle with these artists, because you cannot light a candle alafu siwezi enda kupreachia wase wako church, unajua hawa vijana, kwa sababu me I got love for these guys, kwa sababu I've been going through that kind of life, yeah. Juu hata mimi nimepitia the same thing. So I think naelewa hii path yenye wanapitia. So when we talk, I'm able like to understand and see there is a capability of this guy learning something new.
Nice.
And that's what I want, yeah? Especially 32 Empire. Kwanza kama unasikiza hapo before, tunataka positive tourism Dandora. Hiyo ndio itabadilisha hizo mitaa, because when people see different things, yeah, and actually invite you, hata kama ni kuitia wasanii kadhaa and some upcoming producers who come through kwa studio, teach. When these guys see different things, that culture changes, yeah, and they aspire for something that is greater.
Actually, for me, I can say I am who I am. I'm where I am because I wanted to see different things. Because ukiwa ghetto, you only see one face. So if you see something different, it usually sparks something in you, inakufanya uone. Because for me, mimi school nitokanga Dando nikiingia tao, I was like, guy, there's another world.
Right.
So out of hiyo inaniweka njaa na kiu ya kutaka explore even more. And when you start doing that, you start noticing things, you start opening up your mind na vitu kama hizo. So you start waking up kama hizo vitu. But mimi nikwambia kitu moja Shado, I won't lie to you. Maybe unaweza put too much praise on uko fulani Maumau, but bro, hizo miaka pale umekaa hapo na zile vitu umedu ni much greater than even Andaki Records. Kwa sababu for example, Andaki Records was scrapped, najua nani Mike ile Mike Andaki, the best Mike, iliuzwa 3000. Do you want me to say nani aliuza 3000?
You don't have to.
Okay, but wasi uko fulani Maumau, that's how wali stoop low.
But I think what out of this discussion, I think what needs to be happening, because okay, like I said, I've been in this game a long time, you know. Like I started rapping in the early 90s, you know. By 94 I already had my crew. You know, we were the first gospel hip hop crew.
Awesome.
In Kenya. There was me, the old school guys, Sakute, Big Ted, Big Kev, we all one crew, you know. Even LC, the one who was Giuliani, was in our crew, you know. And so the thing is, I've seen a lot of changes happen in that time. As a young youth, the first two guys who ever produced me was first of all Eric Onaina, and the second one was Ted Josiah.
You're lucky, man.
You know, what Ted Josiah was doing from his SQ, his parents' SQ, it was not even half of this room. You know, it was very small. Yani, unaona kitanda iko hapo, and this old TV ilikuwa into a great wall. Yeah?
Black and
keyboard.
white.
It was like the old Apple software, you know, and
man.
it's just like, and it's like the thing that I've seen is, as music grows, even gospel music, has a challenge, you know, on hip hop has done. You know, at the end of the day, when someone makes a beat, let's say I hit a key on the keyboard, napanya ding. It's a G-Rongi. Is that a secular key or is it a gospel key?
Yeah, that's a big challenge. Yeah? It's music.
Yeah, it's sound, right? And so the thing is, as much as we're Christians, we've got to know how to elevate the industry and bring each other up. When K-Shaka came up, because we talk so much about K-Shaka right now, I knew them when they were starting out, and that time they were Ted Josiah, and they were actually, I was around the time in the studio when they were recording Tafsiri Hii. I remember. Yeah. And that was Ted Josiah, that was Mike Rabah, and David Muridi.
Mike Rabah was there.
Mike Rabah was a partner.
Actually, Mike Rabah is never mentioned in a lot of things in Kenyan industry. And Mike Rabah actually played a lot of part. Nivile, he is a very silent kind of guy. You know, Mike Rabah doesn't... Hata mkiwa na Mike Rabah, atakwambia, niaje G-Rongi uko poa, alafu anyamaze. Uko like, Mike, we need to catch up.
Ako mention part like kibao lakini.
But
they give him quarter of the roses. Mina sema, when the makeup ya Kenyan industry ikianza.
That's very true. There's a lot of...
He's not mentioned. He's only mentioned your Homeboys. But in the Mike Rabah, how did he start Homeboys? Hapo ndio movie iko.
People forget Homeboys. Let me just say this before I cut. Homeboys, if you look at the history of Homeboys did not begin when people thought it began. Mike used to DJ when he was like university, you know, still in Nairobi, like that was like the 80s.
Before his brother John
before John Rabah came into the thing. So it's something, and I remember in the beginning Ted had a studio. It was called, I think there was Audio Vault. You know, there was Audio Vault, there was Blue Zebra, you know? And so that time, Ted has always been thinking about promoting art. So what I'm trying to bring it back. The community
actually say Audio Vault and make sense you the Vault. Yeah. You go like, Audio Vault, okay. I'm saying it make sense like Ted was futuristic.
But what I'm saying is all of us have the capability of bringing out these future generations and really bringing them up. You know, apart from being a producer, my background, I've been a social worker for many years. I've seen a lot go down. And the thing is, you see from the time someone is a young child. Like, see, look, I understand why G-Rongi is the way he is, and not in a bad way. And I'll explain this. When I came from the UK, I was always in Dandora. Even G-Rongi can tell you that. I was always in D, right? And I remember he took me to a space, Apple Hip Hop City, There was a room, and it was empty. And it had like a window. There was supposed to be like the recording booth. I remember. Ilikuwa Apple. But there was no gear. And he explained to me that studio was supposed to help the community. And he was really upset because that equipment was taken by Kinawawesh and to Buruburu.
And you remember, I actually was complaining about the laptop because I brought niggas' laptop from France. And people don't have laptops. What do? They were watching movies. Zira DVDs are 40 in 1. But I'm like, guys, seriously.
I think people are a bit more hungry nowadays as it was
seriously.
back then.
So that's why even when you see me talking, machungu iliisha, I'm just speaking vile kuko.
Perspective of those guys back in the days, hawako labda more into commercializing and
that's
stuff.
where they are right now, because everybody he is where
now,
he is.
There's somebody who's sending
they actually did it for the love. Me as the same. I think back in the days they rocked the mic for the love. Hawakuwa hapo ni kwa sababu.
Now we can get into that conversation for a very long time.
Like,
but we need to go on a break. We need to go on a break.
3 pieces zake ama where are your masters?
I think everyone. Let me just add to this. I think everyone did something for the love. For example, I always tell people I'm one of the founder members of Mo Sound Entertainment. Right? There was no money then. We did it for the love. When we started out. Now when you look at it, it's like, okay, this guy set up NRG Radio, all these other things. Now they say, hey, now he's become money minded. But those days, everyone who started out, even in hip hop, people started out for the love of it, and it grew into a business.
Now you're getting love on YouTube from B Records Kenya, and they're saying Gotea Elshado and Wole, tell them tunawatambua, big up sana kwao. Of course, there's a request for Malji. It says, Turn Me Up by V-Trap. Of course, it's a B Records production. And of course, they're mad from Mombasa, always giving us mad love. So big shout out to B Records.
B Records.
Big shout out to you guys. And I love the way, of course, these record labels you guys are giving each other love the way it should be. I really love that. And of course, for everybody who's tuned in, big shout out to you. Gotta go on the break. We have your artist, Wole, in studio, as has been mentioned, and we'd like to usher him in now. I'm sure he's been waiting for a long time for this moment, so let's have him come in as we have Malji on the decks do his thing.
Attitude Production, yo.
Drug dealer, drug user ndio me as a bar, sometimes me forget kuzu. Me ni star, me uliet yani. Me use kank yani, me use kank yani. Me use kank dealer, drug user ndio me as a bar, sometimes me forget kuzu. Me ni star, me uliet yani. Me use kank yani, me use kank yani. Me use kank drug dealer, drug user ndio me as a bar, sometimes me forget kuzu. Me ni
Attitude Production, yo.
Drug dealer, drug user ndio me as a bar, sometimes me forget kuzu. Me ni star, me uliet yani. Me use kank yani, me use kank yani. Me use kank drug dealer, drug user ndio me as a bar, sometimes me forget kuzu. Me ni star, me uliet yani. Me use kank yani, me use kank yani. Me use kank drug dealer, drug user ndio me as a bar, sometimes me forget kuzu. Me ni star, me uliet yani. Me use kank yani, me use kank yani. Me use kank. Nadunga drip in feature na beba clip. Kutuarisha mamuri omenga du clip. Demon mode wa ijina mina rap MG. Dhani mbaya ngada seal. Fling in your head. Ukizetu na kuswing in your grip. Kukufikia mamsi tuna mnyam. Ndo mtatiti sindo wazing. Sezire ya cho shuffling na mindo niko juggling kupiga tiang tiang na walego na viraka. Shadow lies 32 mina kungam. Unawaria nyu yani unawabuagisha. Drag you sandio. Me as a pass sometimes no forget kuzo. Me ni stamp me uriet yani. Me use kank yani. Me use kank yani. Me use kank drag dealer drag you sandio. Me as a pass sometimes no forget kuzo. Me ni stamp me uriet yani. Me use kank yani. Me use kank yani. Me use kank. Tukongeso na mindo wa kustrike. Na kutight na bado mina kuchai. Niko one man mbete na site. Wezi nikashi jumi ndo komanda. Tuna magala wametia za kivulai. Suwa mazitu wakil na mangwaka. Wamekari joma asset kutumada. Top shota kuinda shakuikanga. Na mamsisi tunamnyam. Dom tatiti sindo wazim. Na mamsisi tunamnyam. Dom tatiti sindo wazim. Nina makidi na nimejam. Mini madidi mnaningam. Juu ya mabugizi wananifret. Tuna wakiziam. Muchimbi ya design na nyonga nyongi. Uwaga pikombi mini kigongi. Uko maria iwoni itaga kigonyi. Design mi ubebeshanga kila bongi. Kila drag you sandio. Me as a pass sometimes no forget kuzo. Me ni stamp me uriet yani. Me use kank yani. Me use kank yani. Me use kank drag drag you sandio. Me as a pass sometimes no forget kuzo. Me ni stamp me uriet yani. Me use kank yani. Me use kank yani. Me use kank. Nadunga drip in feature na beba clip. Kutwarisha mamuri wamenga du clip. Demon mode wa ijina mina rap MG. Dhani mbaya ngada si. Fling in your head. Ukizetu na kuswing in your grip. Kukufikia mamsisi tunamnyam. Ndo mtatiti sindo wazing. Sezire ya cho shuffling na mindo niko juggling kupiga tiang na walego na viraka. Shadow lies 32 mina kungam. Unawaria nyu yani unawabuagisha. Drag you sandio. Me as a pass sometimes no forget kuzo. Me ni stamp me uriet yani. Me use kank yani. Me use kank yani. Me use kank drag dealer drag you sandio. Me as a pass sometimes no forget kuzo. Me ni stamp me uriet yani. Me use kank yani. Me use kank yani. Kank yani.
Tenda ya mishipi ukiona blackout kuna tenda ya majenereta. Wameipeleka tu fa wameenda hadi story agenda hadi rights za mende. Ati wase wanaipenda kaile channel ya South Africa. Wameitwanga na panel beating media yenyewe ikaifunnel wakaikunywa na kaili wanyonga pia. Wataisiaga na washoni afya. Yeah, ni mamafia jo. Propaganda imeganda proper. Publicity za TV ndio upenda. Kudisiana kwa matanga na kwa church. Kukisiana kwenye curtain, kubagain. Nani atafikia bei? Kufichiana white ndio zao. Kura yako ni kadi. Ballot box ATM yao. Oh my goodness, hadi doza shule. Jo mzee, education ndio key. Tunafaa tukafunge na mbunge amekuja cheap. Ati kutubaya steam tuvuruge. Hapo ndo mimi ujiuliza jo. Hii siasa utusaidia ngaje zingine?
Siasa bangana keleza soko ya ile mtato kwa ubongo. Tumechoka, tumesota na bado. Siasa bangana keleza soko ya ile mtato kwa ubongo. Tumechoka, tumesota na bado.
Wanauliza kwani wangatulani bado tunachota mafuta. Hamwezi understand. Jua mjai kwa shanties. Hamjai toka job jioni bila eni kwa pori. Familia inakungoja, uweke kitu kwa meza. It all rotates around poverty. Kitu political class imeignore. Ndio siwezi respect hata siku moja. Angalia kwa mtaa, pop imekuwa ndio the only way.
Femi. Uno. Femi. One. Hakuna mkate ngumu mbele chai. Akili ni nywele zangu nilipaka dai. Mwa wananidai Femi super duper fly. Game iko X na regret why. Set mina kafunga kani look mina dunga. Misari zimeshiba sembe zimemada unga. Flow kachumbari na wachanganya na lugha. Yani Femi walibora misamiati mina tunga. Sina come through sana kiwala binwala. Lutix kibao kasi pesa au biashara. Wanachuna mina gwara mini chui weni swara. Na leflani mjanja wa kusakanya magwala. Mandume wanagwaya na mafaya ni za kike. Roho zinatunda kachidima na kedike. Fresh kama tropical, fresh versus PK. I am so sick, hope kick DK. Hakuna chakuki, I'm the queen kaka empire. Femi at the teacher basi skiza I should mentor ya. One girl super killer kuja na yo enter ya. Right left uppercut mpaka mwite mesaya. Ni hivyo ndio inafaa. Kazi damu jasho zote zimeja kwa kitamba. Tumetoka mbali cheki vile tumefika fa.
Niko juu ya maji kama Zanzibar. Naziangusha kama mzee hapa Manziba. Kila restaurant na 16 bars. Swing kagorilla kwenye monkey bar. Walisinzia kwa track wakamiss idhaa. Sasa naamka alia than kiba. Puli zangu kibao siwezi waste bidhaa. Napiga show ama na shoot vida. Pictures zina bounce kama Adidas. Pull juu chini label Adidas. Napiga freestyle chorus Adidas bars. Definition ya MC kuba. Masonko niko nao nikitos maglass. Phone call hizo nazo call me back na flash. Niko busy biashara nikitafuta cash. Baadaye mimi na maboy tuta crash kwa like zimekubamba. Basi mama ongeza volume ama utahama. Let's go now, get down. Zila juani get down. Let's go get down.
Siku mingi tumeonana, tuna mipango za kuoana. Misioni nikasana sana, njoo baadaye tuachana. Si kila siku Yesu, unatakaje tutaishi vipi huku? Unaonaje? Una mipango ama wanipanga tu from nigga?
X na X kwa S nikiandika sasa kwa SMS. Kilicho na mwanzo lazima kiwe na mwisho. Tali aligo akisha come mkanye asiji west. Kamsoba Kim Kardashian anataka tuku Putin kama Russia. Tiger Woods alichase holes kwa goals na off court. Of course hakuna tofauti ya great men na get men. Wote wana rungu, sisi ni same but sisi see them. Kwa hivyo situshuku kumarithi ni manzi najua kuchagua nyanya marikiti. Sikupigi Kiswahili malinguistic. You're more to me than kuchagua drapes na color to paint ceiling.
Siku mingi tumeonana, tuna mipango za kuoana. Misioni nikikasana sana, njoo baadaye tutaachana. Si kila siku Yesu, unatakaje tutaishi vipi huku? Unaonaje? Tunaendaje? Una mipango ama
kaini bambi sin tukipiga tunaiwacha maridadi.
Wanatuita mabani kwani tumeshikwa tukachiliwa mara ngapi?
Rada ni chafu na sisafishi. Hii budget itoshi kuja kwangu na feature dish.
Rende ni chafu achachisha nini? Mimi ndrache wangu na sababu ni staki rafiki.
Underground still superstar. How nafanya mpaka marapa wanashtuka style zao. Niko full mzuka neza fungwa duka side zao. Vile mi usuka mi ndio sultan you can find out.
Finishing off this particular show, let me tell you the conversations have been heated. I've been here having interesting conversations. First of all, big up to Elshado all the way from 32 Empire.
Yeah.
All the way from Dandora. There we go. Now we have another guest in studio. He goes by the name Wole.
Wole Chapo in the building, representing MOB Dandora 3242. Straight up.
Woza
32
ni 32 na 42.
Ndio nimesikia, nimetambua sasa.
Even as we used to represent, tulikuwa tunasema tumetoka
LGT number 15.
Langata, yani LGT kwa Langata.
Chini wakicheka. I don't know why they're laughing. Ni ukweli.
Lakini by the way, Myra, what's the postcode for Langata? What is the postcode?
I made you.
DJ Malji.
LGT, LGT.
DJ Malji.
Aya Wole. Yeah. For those who don't know you.
Me do hip hop. The only kitu ina different me do hip hop, beats tu ndo zina change.
Yeah.
I do even mute wangukia beats za dancehall, but style yangu ni hip hop
Yeah.
But ikuja ni
unafanya hop that's hip. Any hip hop.
So Wole.
Yeah.
You've been in the scene for how long? How many projects have you worked on?
Okay, I've been in the music journey it's been 4 years now. I released my first album at 32 Empires last year. Yeah.
Mzee mzima una miaka ngapi?
Mimi hiyo tutaikanda kabla kiasi.
Okay, kwa sababu mimi najua ni young lakini unaniambia already una album.
Nikwambia watu wapende kusema their age on air.
Naona album bro.
Era mpya jo tunakaa vibaya sana.
Ndio muhimu.
Tunajiita Made of Black. Ukienda pale platform zote YT, ukienda Boomplay kila mahali tunajiita MOB 3242. So niliwork na Shadow last year. Nikafanya my first studio album. Ilikuwa na 10 tracks. Doba mbaya sana, nimeficha mavijana wako underground hapo ghetto. Na niwase wakipatiwa chance wanaweza ichukua na mkono mbili.
Chance iko hapa tayari.
Kufanya muziki walifanya doba.
Wakilishe.
Walifanya doba.
The fact that uko hapa already, that's the chance where the chance begins.
Ati unaitwa?
Wole Chapo.
So bwana anajiita hivyo. What's the name? What's the thing behind the name?
Wole Chapo.
Okay, Wole ni jina nilipatiwa na my dad. Actually, Wole was a Nigerian author.
Yes.
Alikuwa anaitwa Wole Soyinka. So Chapo ni jina nimepatiwa na street. So nika combine zote ikakuwa Wole Chapo.
So, no relation to El Chapo.
Yeah, El Chapo mimi kwa napigia El Chapo mwenyewe.
Niko na Wole Soyinka actually courtesy of nani anaitangana nini jamaa wetu Wole Dedi. Huyu author huyo LGBTQ Dedi.
Nani?
Wewe hiyo kitu LGBT sana ama ni Langata Barracks.
Wainaina. Wainaina no. His name starts with a W at the end. Wacha nifanye hiyo research tutakwambia after the break. Load sahihi.
Mimi nataka jua wasenge ni wasenge.
So Wole.
Wacha ni silence hapo.
Welcome to the Madhouse. So una represent a whole when it nini as an artist by yourself or when you part of a crew Jumogea MOB 3242.
Yeah.
So any part of a crew ama when what do they call single? What do they call artists who do solo artists?
Actually your MOB ni camp. Tuseme it's my clique. Okay, so there are several artists, two of them ambapo wange make come through. So me kama head wako fully represented.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and your head of the okay. So niaje uli form hii clique?
Okay, hii clique as in from so long nilikuwa najua ndaka ku rap tu, yani commercially. So nakumbuka nikiwa mtoi nikichapia wase nilikuwa miaka 7. Niko na nimehang na wasema elder kiasi, nimewachapia jana usiku nimeota niki rape. Just nilikuwa mtoi, siko najua difference ya ku-rape na ku-rap. So wakaanza kucheka, naambia mnacheka nini majamaa? Nilikuwa nimeshika mic, nilikuwa na rape mbaya sana, crowd iko mbele yangu. Wamecheka mbaya. So
unataka tuende chachi.
He was like a new version on air. On air, man. Say,
you didn't even know that to laugh.
What about me? Na rape. Na rape no buyer.
So all along nimekuwa nikifanya ma freestyle manini, but sasa professionally nilikam kurecord under 32 Empires. Na ndio my first album nilifanya inajiita Made of Black mixtape.
Made of Black.
Yeah.
Bro, sorry. I think the first time nilikuona nile school kwa kambi bro, mpaka nilishindwa ni nani. niko na wewe sijui kama unaweza kumbuka siku ya Elshado.
Yeah.
Mzee mzima alitokelezea akashika mic, tulikuwa tumeorganize something hapo, project hapo uko kwa Mumau na courtesy of Black G na G-Rongi na wase kadhaa, tulikuwa tumeorganize something ilikuwa na go down. Bro alitokea tu. Ndio mpaka nikajiambia nikakuwa na hope na love na Dandora. Ndio watu wale tumezoea watoshi mbonga, lakini niliona mzee mzima wow, alafu ni miangi niko na alirep 100%.
Alifanya nini? Alirep.
Alirep.
Okay.
By the way, one thing guaranteed.
And there was no women.
One thing guaranteed, ukikaa mtaa lazima utapata watu wana rap mbaya sana. Unajua? So hiyo hata ndio inatumanga sometimes una stick around. Kwa sababu unaona ile emptiness unaweza acha in case vitu zichange au sio?
Yeah, if you're watching from Maju, it's represent we're talking about when we're saying rep. Represent. Yes. Yeah. So for the last 4 years Kenya Kona sasa ni that mixtape, yeah? Yung ulifanya na 32 Empire.
Yeah.
Gani ndo ungesema is your biggest track or your biggest feature?
Okay, I think hii itakuwa na tai. Juu niko na single hapo inaitwa Magorilla na niko na feature inaitwa Grind.
Okay.
Nimegrind, feature one of my colleague anaitwa Asko, Mnyange Kam na kuna Msito.
There is Msito. Very nice.
Actually unajua Elshado ndo amedo a lot of tracks kwa hiyo album ya Gorilla.
Gorilla, tuko na hiyo nini?
Big up.
Album hapa.
Unajua Msito.
Very nice. Those are some talented guys you've worked with, huh?
Yeah, I've got plenty.
Mad talented. Alafu, you know, a lot of guys don't know them yet. I'm using the word yet. Don't know them yet, but they're really talented.
Like you know for kurep kwa hiyo track.
I know. So for example kama DHC wangekula hizo makina maburugu da wangekula studio, wangekuwa na represent, but hawako show off, mzee mzima ako talent.
Oh masani.
Went somebody from Brugda last week, yeah?
Nani mzee mzima huyo alikonga nani alitanga nani? Nani tulikuwa naye last week?
Illicit Alexis.
But Illicit ni mreal, yeye kuna hiyo crew ya DHC, but Illicit ni independent also. Yeye apende kurun na crowd. Anapenda kusort.
Lakini unajua kitu nimenotice kitu moja hapa Kenya. There's so many crews wako wengi, but they don't come together. Why is that they don't come together?
But his crew is
I think from my perspective, I think in exposure.
Okay.
They don't know if we get together what we are capable to do. What do we do?
Exactly.
But sometimes you have to just risk it.
Yeah, but you see, now the person who is supposed to risk it, hajafika hapo the trigger. Like if these guys get exposed, then they'll know if we come together we can do this.
But you know, like I like what he said. He's the leader of his clique.
Yeah.
It also takes a leader and a good leader to be able to steer people in the right way.
True.
Yeah. Even for all of this to be yani, there has to be somebody who set people in the right path.
It's called somebody has to take
charge. Yeah, somebody has to take charge. Somebody has to again steer that ship. And I like the fact that umejitambua ka na pia hajaogopa kusema mimi ndio leader. I'm the leader in this like you can say gap.
They say too many chefs ruin the food. There needs to be one leading chef.
One.
Yeah.
That's one kanyama that floats to the top of the stew. So nini
amesema nyama moja ila.
So wacha niseme hivi, do you know mbona uko fulani momo ilianguka kama never sisi nimenyamaza kwa sababu sikutaka kusema kitu. So for example nime respect vile mzee mzima amesema mimi ndio leader wa crew. So kama tunamchukulia kama ni leader, lakini ukiwa naye he doesn't behave like a leader. Unashika, that's why uko fulani iliangu, but kama vile Shadow alisemaje, they are learning from mistakes ziliku to make it better. Mimi nikishika sungura na expect mzee mzima ashike ng'ombe. We need to go bigger. Na kama mzee mzima anachukua charge, that's up.
That's what's up.
Na wale warembo wengine walikujanga walikuwa wanaitangwa nani wale warembo?
Something warriors.
Infinity Warriors.
Yeah.
We remember that nani Myra, he was the leader of that crew. Hawakuanga like us tuko independent nini freestyle. No. If you freestyle kusema tuko independent kwa freestyle, hiyo ndio ina wreck a lot of
But you know what I think? I think for improvement, this is what I think. Like all of us here, we have we have our history, where we've come from. People forget, the Myra was the first presenter on Straight Up. I'm sure you guys don't know that. No, this Myra. She was the first presenter on Straight Up. You know, now Myra pia alikuwa msanii. She did a song even with Doobies back in the day. So she has her history. Yeah. G-Rongi pia kwa history yake. I have my history. You guys have your history. But the thing about it
now
is
it's sinking, yeah.
But the thing about it is this. Let me educate you. The thing about it is this, when G-Rongi and I ongea your past mistakes. See, if I went through past mistakes and you're listening to me, you know, I'm giving you a blueprint. So I'm giving you the short way of getting there.
Yeah.
But if you want to take the long way pia kufika hapo, that's now your choice. But when you listen to people who came before you, wanakuambia mili enda hivi, maybe tukishikana tunaweza fanya hivi na hivi na hivi. It's a simpler way of you getting to your success.
There always lessons to be learned. Now, Wole, we really wanted to hear you on a track.
A pleasure.
Who's gonna hear him?
Now it's been set up. We really want to hear you freestyle.
No escaping this.
Ready when you're ready.
Ready when you're ready. I like that. Unajua kuna watu wengine wanasema manze sikuwa ready leo, yani voice yangu freestyle. So I like people who come in and they're like, listen, this is my chance. I'm
leo siku kunywa ino.
So we're getting ready to get Wole on the nini, lakini mixtape yako inaitwa?
Inaitwa Made of Black.
Made of Black.
Yeah.
Inaweza patikana wapi?
Unaweza pata YT na Boomplay.
Okay.
Yeah, search to Made of Black 3242.
Okay.
Yeah, all the stuff is there.
All right.
But you know what one thing that I really want to see, because it's good to meet a fellow producer, fellow label owner, one thing that I really want to see, I want to see young kids being brought up in music. When I say young kids, our dogo. So they're shown the right way of how to get into the music. But I'm like 7 years old, and you deal with the kid from the time they're 7. Imagine where they'll be by the time they're 16 years old. It'll be a different place. But the thing is, this guy wa Kenya nasema nini, ajui, And a good example is like in Uganda. You see the kids who are in that way, Britain's Got Talent, you know, they're really developing these dancers. You know, I mean, okay, Uganda have great dancers, sita kudanganya. But I've been in Uganda. I had my company even there in Kampala. They spent a lot of time investing in future generations. And that's something in Kenya we need to learn from.
That's why I like Elshado's outfit, because it's doing exactly that. It is investing. No matter what, whether you're cussing or not, you'll invest in you as long as you're good, yeah? And that's exactly what it needs more of. And again, guys out there nowadays, they are so idle because there's no job.
You
so if they're able to unleash it in the studio.
You know the other person is really investing in a lot of people? The guy behind us, G-Rongi. It's just that people don't talk about
That's
it.
true.
He's investing in a lot of people. He encourages a lot of people.
That's true.
He may look like he's a gorilla, aka on the other side, and I come now war. Like he's invested. He just doesn't talk about it. But shout out to G-Rongi for what he has done for this industry.
100%. Plus, I love the way he checkmates. Yani sio kubite around the bush, and I keep it real. Ata here, yani he just speaks the way it's supposed to be said.
Right.
Apart from when
you have to deal with the facts the way they come. So that's one aspect. Actually, you mwangalia most of the time when he's talking about, yani he realizes there was a problem, and this is the reason why things are going like this. So we can do something about it.
No, I like the fact
apart
that
from when he starts talking about liberals, that's another thing.
Sometimes he's too extreme.
Now, before we go there, listen, stop. That's triggering
people might not understand it now, but in futuristic, give it time, no problem.
We're ready for Wole to get on the mic. The time is here.
Which one?
That one. Only one. The only one mic over there. So
what did now say? All I need is one.
One mic. There you go. So that's a one mic, and then we'll decide whether we'll give him 5 mics or remain with the one.
For me, all I need is one like it, and if finally destroy dunia mzima.
Hey, one like your woman already likes you. That's enough.
That's why I'm saying it will make me destroy dunia. All I need is one like.
All right. So now we're getting ready for Wole to get on the. So he's dropping a freestyle, but please remember the vault ciphers are still there. We're about to drop for Alexis and G-Rongi in a few, but we're going to be having the one we're going to be doing with Elshado and Wole next week.
We're gonna be bringing out the greatest ciphers on the vault.
There we go. So next week, look out for Elshado, Wole, and G-Rongi. That of course produced by the one and only Beatmekah. But for now, we're giving Wole the opportunity, since he's here, to drop a freestyle on this track.
There's a rule, eh? They say with hip hop, eh? If you're not making a face when you're listening to hip hop, then that's not real hip hop.
That's true. It's gotta be dirty, grimy.
Talking less, so I guess so. Nimewasha flames hadi nachoma shinda flames. No wonder mnani. Oh, tuko on bado.
Shady baby.
I guess so. Phone call upstairs lightning. Call me Jeso. Mengi sumu mateso. Nimepitia kati Jeso. Friends, so I guess flames now.
Malji. DJ Malji. DJ Malji.
Shule na msingi kibao shinda shule za msingi and I'm still singing. Yo, akapi singingi hizo ni maburuguda. Watu kama wasisunda the way tunafaa inakuwa na shoulder. Tunajua tulikuwa na jeshi yangu ya guda nipatie tu muda alafu tutadunda runda.
Kuna line ilikuwa napenda hapo ati niko ndani kavunja yako.
Now.
Hear this.
DJ Malji.
Sasa watu wanasikia that is what is called a cipher.
I'm telling you.
homa. Unajua mbona sishikangu ina homa?
Joeni mnoma.
Nimekula mingi chombo.
DJ Malji.
Everybody yako up around me ni mtu wangu. Kitaka ni changu. Juu waliinama wakitafuta cha mfunguni, kumbe walikuwa mabati, walikuwa wanatwaka. Na wakati mimi nilikuwa waka. Guess what? Uliza madhara, wanajua mimi nimecrack. Ni albadili. Juu to come through lazima watu walibadili. Na imagine si Quran ulisomea hadi ikakaa albadili.
First of all,
wordplay.
Wole.
Dandora United in the house.
Yeah. Wole amekubalika usio.
Yeah, man.
Now. Hear this.
Five across the board.
Jimmy put 10 fingers in the air.
10 fingers in the air for Wole.
Plus the 10 toes. Plus the 10 toes.
We are talking about 20 mics in that place.
Listen, I did not know that would come out of him. Okay, that was on another level. Tutafanya the vault extra for now. We say goodbye, guys.
We need to buy.
We need to go bye. But thank you guys so much for coming through. Well, you are indeed one talent that needs to be looked out for 100%.
Indeed,
okay.
Yeah.
So big shout out to you, whatever you're doing. Big shout out to your crew, MOB 3242.
He said he's the leader.
He's the leader.
So tukimpatia roses zake, we need to also preserve some for the other guys.
Do you know?
Because I know pia ni wa psycho day.
We talked about this with G-Rongi yesterday. We said yes, we'll be having these sessions here in studio. We'll be having the recordings for the Vault Cypher. But every end of month now we do one massive. So you come with your crew, come represent with your crew, Ivo, and you represent like the way he said. He said he was ready, okay.
One thing I know about my people, if you don't rap well, Buddha toka kwa mic. We have no time for.
You have come with unlimited bars. Sisemi hizo bars za kamkunji.
Bro, na usisahau sisi ndio KBL. I mean sisi supply bars.
Sasa, we have Mad Love coming in for Wole on YouTube. Sijui watafanya screenshots. Sijui nini is not what's it called? See? But of course, there's Mad Love coming through for Wole. Yeah. Clearly, this is a guy to look out for. Coming straight out of 32 Empire, all right?
Now, 32 records.
www.32empire.com.
Paka kuna website. Say it again.
www.32empire.com.
There we go.
Not 32 but 30 and then 2 TU.
32. Oh, okay.
DHATITU.
Okay.
32.
Yo, bro, you never told them like we did a song, me, you, and
Brother Hustler, G-Rongi. Yeah, I remember back.
We recorded in Dandora.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Na tulikuwa maunga mbaya.
That time.
But I'm glad.
That time.
I'm glad by the G-Rongi sahi.
Ilikuwa unga ya jembe.
Hapana. Hatutazisema sana juu hatujui kama nakada wana watch. But basically, I'm glad to see him like.
Yeah, but don't do drugs, guys.
Don't do drugs.
So, Badgeman Entertainment says, Wole in the place, fire emoji.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Elshado. He's the same guy who's saying that. Shout out to Elshado. Shout out to Wole Chapo, G-Rongi, The Vault, tuned in. Big shout out to you.
In fact, Badgeman is one of the heads.
Badgeman is one of the heads.
Big up to yourself.
Kuna head.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Guys, we gotta go. It's been an amazing session. Of course, we're gonna be now recording the Vault Cypher next week with Elshado, Wole, G-Rongi. It's gonna be a massive session. This is gonna be on your playlist 100%.
Yeah, also if you are a rapper, you're a good freestyler, every end month we'll be holding like the biggest cypher in Nairobi or in Kenya or in East Africa or in Africa, actually in the world. If you are dope, tutakuwa tunajua ni aje, tunadubonge la cypher. Watu wanakuja wanaanza kujua ni courtesy of the Beatmekah, Icon Records, Icon Radio, unajua DJ Brandem.
There we go.
Kadhalika, unajua?
Lakini
it's all about love.
Ni Brandem siku hizi hakuna DJ.
Okay.
Watu walifanya divorce.
Courtesy of DJ Brandem.
You've heard it from G-Rongi himself. Every end of the month we're going to be having. Every end of the month we're going to be having Bongula Cypher right here.
Okay, kwa social unaweza nipata kwa Wole Chapo IG, Facebook, yeah, and all other platforms.
Alright.
Yeah, Wole Chapo. Ukitaka kunitafuta as a crew unaweza nitafuta Made of Black 3242.
Nice.
That's all.
Okay.
So mimi ukitaka kunipata website www.32empire.com. Actually kama una watch unaweza sikiza album yangu ni release last week hapo inaitwa Seek the Kingdom First.
Nice.
Iko na 12 tracks. Unaweza purchase hapo, unaweza sikia preview na uweze kupurchase, but all across the platform ni 32 Empire.
32 Empire.
Hata ukiangalia tu Elshado or anything itakulink up to, they are all interconnected.
So my talent coming out of there will definitely be looking out for you guys. But for now we are leaving with the world premiere of the G-Rongi featuring Alexis, produced by Beatmekah. Sci-fi. We need to find names. You know, like for Bogigenje, they found their Zimbiting. Okay, they found a name for their cipher. So we need to find a name for this cipher. But yes, it's a world premiere of Alexis, G-Rongi.
Ndani ya nyumba. Tunajua tena G-Rongize, Beatmekah, Queen Bogi, Illicit, Babos, Mwatika, The Volt Cypher, Icon Radio, once again. Tunajua tena Dandora ndani ya nyumba. Kama kawa, Mr. International. Ni gift, hapa soul na lift, stomping, throat to taslit, ni wa soft kayo clit, niko hapa kuuplift, disrespect itakushift, na kupresent kwa goons gift. Nyini making, watu wakuliza NGOs, wak ni wak hata kiwak. Coxy, crack, gather, tampiwa like that. Sai, unaweza kujiua like that. Na tuta freestyle kwa manga dress yako like that. Na tuta kuchangia like that. Huku na sip mrambes like that. Si unajua mababu, wanadabu, kila kitu na sababu. Bora hesabu, sijawahi amkia tabu. Mi ndio jawabu, chanuliwa na mabawabu. Kistress retire na staarabu. Hapa kuwa style after kuwa profile. Blood affiliation na ranking file. Wanapenda kudrink, mi napenda kuthink. Uliza retina, ukiblink sniper na kutoka ki straight face poker. Come to park big popper. Nani ali crown hizi crown okoka. Wokovu, brandishing kibrown, chukua yangu pori. Sipendi swara, pengine ndovu. Ngori, dikwara, masnitch di gwara, mshifa ni fala na treat ni ngori. Awawa, mama wanaongelea kwa lawama. Musitrip, nikiteka trip wote watastrip na sinida beat to killer street. Hakuna wakustop my heartbeat. Apart from God wakutry hata deep part. Commit God kama unadai to be part. Sijawahi spare part. Hapa body bags zitajazwa na body pass. Compare that X ikimark the spot ita expert. I play that.
Yeah, still keeping it ill. Is it? Yeah. Atia Illicit, kafadha King Ligo. Bado mina represent wasi wako ma Ligo. Unaweza tasema ni kwa sababu dope ndo lebo. Na hiki tunawapata imekubalika tu kwa ghetto. I guess so. Kwa sababu hata kwa mkono tumekala meukata na system ka Malcolm Lito. Ndo maana hata sawa najaribu kutudunga na masindano lito. Na kila chance wanapata lakini bado mi kila siku naishi by the will of the people. Ati nikiendelea kufuata closely steps za tukaki na Steve Biko. Joto tunajua ni hard sana kukosa kupata jina yangu ikitajwa mali. Hii revolution iko au sivyo. Ati wakingangania kunifikisha kotiko ka Marem Blacks but I still don't give a fuck. Ati jota mimi unajua pia was born against the government wishes and raised on soul and dishes. Na si cliche. Yes. Unajua kama kawa. Still keeping it ill maze. Yeah. Another icon radio cypher. Big up Beatmekah, G-Rongi, Zila na kila msee ndani ya nyumba. Hapo sawa man. Yeah. Real of the realest. Yeah.